The Monday night meltdown has begun for the pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between, from Costa Rica to California, Montreal to Minnesota. The late night anger management class. The countdown is on. Super Bowl 52. We now know who is playing in Super Bowl 52. The New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles, a rematch of Super Bowl 39. And I'm not going to lie, man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm just tired or I'm getting stupider by the day. But I was having a hard time figuring out the Roman numerals earlier this morning. I woke up, I'm like, what Super Bowl number was this? I'm like, Super Bowl V, fucking V this, -1, add this. I'm like, dear God, fuck. I had to just count it backwards. I'm like, enough of this bullshit, fuck. Super Bowl 39. And we've been around so long that we actually did a road rage that afternoon, that Super Bowl evening. I remember it was in Montreal, and we were at that hockey rink. It's got like 4 rinks and stuff. The Canadians used to practice there. What was it called? Cat Glass. Cat Glass. Not a lot of people showed up, but it was a good time nevertheless. And I remember we covered the point spread. For 7-point favorites, and of course they won by 3. So we're going to crunch a lot of numbers over the next, 13 days. And of course, we're going to be in Costa Rica for a special Super Bowl bet cast. Going to be off the hook. Me and Donnie Rightside. Donnie Rightside, of course, a big-time Philadelphia Eagle fan. So the number right now is 5 offshore for the most part. It's settled in. Then at 48, we have a lot of things to kick on this game. We got a late-night basketball game coming up. We have the Clippers and the T-Wolves. Jimmy Butler is going to be out. Who better to help us break all this down and more? A man that you read on a daily basis on the front page of SportsBookReview.com. The professor, Dave Malinsky, joins us. Point blank. What's up, Dave?
Gabe, I kind of missed the Roman numerals. But the NFL had to go away from that for Super Bowl 50 because the Roman numeral for 50 is just the letter L. And how odd was it going to look? Super Bowl L. It just wasn't. Yeah. I think they're gone forever now. I think it's just going to be the alphanumerics thing that we're accustomed to seeing. But Super Bowl 52, when I think about this, you will have a great time in Costa Rica. But I pity you so much for the next 2 weeks because you've got to be on the air all day across all these different platforms talking about one game. How do you do it? How can you stay interested in Patriots Eagles for the next 2 weeks?
It's tough. I'm already sick of it. I'm already, Dave, what's interesting here too? It's like, they're not 2 easy cities to really cheer for either. Let's be real. You know what I mean? You saw Eagle fans yesterday. Pretty much, I don't know what your deal is, but that's besides the point. We'll get to that a little bit later on. And then you got Boston with the fucking Patriots in the Super Bowl again. But Dave, after all these years, man, I'm still enthusiastic, right? So if I can't do it, then I'm in the wrong business. We take it one day at a time. But as you stated, 13 days, 1 Super Bowl. It's going to be hard not to repeat ourselves along the way.
Yeah, we'll have props coming up in a couple of days. That'll create.
So when is Cornegate? Cornegate generally puts out the props. What, on the Thursday?
Yeah, it'll be Thursday night, and it's an event here in Las Vegas. You will have several dozen people in line to bet them. You have hundreds of people just milling about. So it is a bit of an event. But even then, once that's it, then by the middle of the next day, you still got a full week to kill on this. What's great for people that do what I do, I can get out of it pretty quickly. Now, I have to do some media appearances. I warn people in advance. I don't have a whole lot to say about this game, so that if they want a better guess, they can get somebody else. But it doesn't have to be that big a deal, and especially when it comes to props, because you know what? There are people who will beat me to the punch on the props. They specialize. It's what they do. So, Gabe, I hate to say it, but it's just another game from a betting standpoint.
It really is just another game. And would you say it's a harder game than usual to pick as well? Like, is the Super Bowl a harder game to pick than a casual one of 15 NFL regular season games on a Sunday?
You know, there are so many different dynamics that come into play, and this one has the bit of a wild card. And we might as well let's start the narratives about Nick Foles, because we don't really, or I don't know what Nick Foles' level can be projected. Yesterday was so incredibly good, so off the charts good that we can't see that again. So what is the level of Nick Foles that can be anticipated? That's a whole lot of fun. Now, what's made this playoff run really different, and people who read Point Blank would be aware of that, we had a lot of action in the playoffs. It was this unique layout where you had all of these inexperienced quarterbacks going up against guys who had been around, yet the better defenses were on the flip sides of those equations. And guess what? If you bet the better defense, regardless of the quarterback matchup, you had a nice postseason run to this point, and that's going to be the issue again. Super Bowl 52, the underdog has a significantly better defense.
Well, if you bet the underdog in the postseason, you've had a hell of a run as well. I mean, with the exception, depends on when you bet that Saints-Vikings game, because it landed at 5, whether it was 5.5, and the whole controversy with the extra point that was never kicked, etc. You know, depending on that, the only favorite to cover was the New England Patriots against the Tennessee Titans. It's been a dog. As far as Nick Foles, you know, Nick Foles is very streaky, and when he gets into a rhythm and he has, you know, he's protected and he has protection, then we see he can complete the passes and not just the quick hit passes. He can throw the ball down the field when he's feeling it. And you know, Dave, I saw a stat today. And it's kind of it was surprising to see only 2 quarterbacks, Dave, in NFL history, in NFL playoff history. So the playoffs and their 2 playoff games going into the Super Bowl, quarterbacks completed 75% or more of their passes in their 2 playoff games. Joe Montana and Nick Foles. Joe Montana and Nick Foles. Okay, the other narrative here, Dave, will be Rob Gronkowski in a concussion protocol. But, you know, with the bye week right now, you have to assume that Rob Gronkowski will play in this football game. And I read, you know, Dave, so how am I going to fill all this airtime for the next 2 weeks? Doing everything I possibly can. So I see that the odds maker, I believe it was Ed Salmon, said that if this line is made with Gronkowski playing, Gronkowski's out, that it's going to come down to 4.5 or 4 or so.
Yeah, we will see a drop. That was kind of the expectation last night. The 2 full weeks is enough ordinarily to pass a protocol. Let's go back to Nick Foles a little bit, because the single most interesting thing I saw yesterday, of all the various things that unfolded, that Philadelphia drive right before halftime, because you're sitting there with a big lead, you're playing one of the best defenses in the NFL, and you get the ball to start the second half. So from an NFL coaching standpoint, probably 8 out of 10 NFL coaches are going to they're going to kneel down twice, go to the locker, which is what Jacksonville did against New England. Yet they had the confidence. Peterson had the confidence in Foles to attack in that situation. That says more than some of the stats. That means the coaches who have seen him in practice every day, who know the things that they've been able to do now that they're tweaking the playbook around a little bit for him. If the coaches have that much confidence, that means I'm supposed to have a little more confidence than I ordinarily would have, because if Foles has the confidence and the Eagles are willing to attack aggressively, which they did yesterday, you can make plays against New England. So let's make this one of the running themes, and I don't want to beat this to death, but I'll be doing it in a lot of media appearances. The Monday edition of Point Blank, we did a fascinating breakdown on the Patriots over the past decade. Because if you're watching the game yesterday, or almost watching any New England game, the announcer is going to say, well, at some point, Bill Belichick will make his adjustments and he'll shut down Blake Bortles. Because Belichick still carries this reputation as a major defensive tactician. What we did today is we did out the last 10 years using the Football Outsiders defensive ratings, which I believe are the best out there. New England hasn't been better than number 12 in the NFL in defense the last 10 years. Their average rating was number 19. And if you want to win a bar bet, and who doesn't want to win a bar bet, there are 5 NFL franchises who over the last 10 years have never finished in the top 10 in defense once. Try to get somebody to name all 5, because a couple of reasons. You're going to get Cleveland, you're going to get Indianapolis, you're going to get Oakland. Got to think a little harder to get to the Redskins, because the Redskins twice finished 11th, so they were right on the cusp. But the number 5 team, New England, that's the defensive grouping that the Patriots have been in. So why have they won so many games? The offense has been fabulous. Number 1 4 times in the last 10 years. The special teams, collectively number 4 over the last 10 years. So it's been offense and special teams. But in truth, the defense has been below average most years for the Patriots. That'll be a fun thing to talk about over the next couple of weeks, because it'll go against a lot of the narratives that'll be out there.
A couple of things that you just brought up, David. I'm glad you did. I mentioned this earlier today as well. You know, it feels, I mean, that was an incredible rout yesterday. I mean, nobody saw that coming. The Eagles just punch him in the mouth. Feel of a complete beatdown, an absolute massacre after the fact. But you're right, Dave. I mean, the fact of the matter is, 7 with a minute left in the first half. It's 14-7, and the Philadelphia Eagles have the ball on their 20-yard line. That's a football game. That's not a rout. That's not a blowout. That's 14-7. If you go into the room at 14-7. But as you stated, take the pedal off the metal. And as you mentioned, it shows that they have confidence in Nick Foles. But what I like as well, Dave, if you're going to beat the New England Patriots, you can't coach not to lose. And you mentioned it with Doug Marrone yesterday. 55 seconds left in the first half. Wow, we're up 14. All right, well, let's go into the half here. 10 with 7 minutes left. He played it by the book as if he's playing the New York Jets in the regular season. When you're that close to greatness, you have to do something special. If you're a singer and you go on American Idol, you're not playing it safe, Dave. You know what I mean? This is your chance. And it's, you don't get these chances often. Vikings are really going to regret rolling over like they did yesterday. But as you stated, Doug Peterson, he said, this is my chance. Because imagine Foles gets picked. Gets returned, and then, why didn't you fucking run the fucking ball? How could you do that? They criticized Peterson often in Philadelphia for his play calling. Now he's 15-3 at home, and he's been very aggressive. And I think Frank Reich deserves a ton of credit as well, the offensive coordinator. No major drop-off. I mean, the Carson Wentz plays yesterday. What's the score? I mean, what's going to be different? Frank Reich and the play calling, Dave. Minnesota Viking players all said today, I mean, they just didn't – there's no explanation for what happened for the Vikings and why they didn't have any energy and there was no sense of urgency. But they got out-schemed. They just did. Eagles were one step ahead. Everything that they knew, they scouted Minnesota so freaking well, man, that they knew exactly what Minnesota was going to do, and they called the right play at the exact time every time for it. I thought, the play calling was brilliant. Frank Reich deserves a ton of credit for that. I mean, eventually this guy's going to have to get a head coaching, instead of just interviews. I thought he did a great job with that. Confidence that they're not going to go in there and play it safe against the Patriots either. And I'm not saying they're going to go crazy, but there to coach not to lose the game. Peterson understands sometimes you got to put all your chips in.
Yeah, if you're the Tennessee Titans and you need someone to develop Marcus Mariota, why wasn't it Frank Reich? Because I thought that might have been a good fit down there. When you specifically want to bring in, now maybe Tennessee thinks they could do something with a new offensive coordinator, maybe with a new quarterbacks coach. But I'm surprised that Reich didn't get a little more play across some of these coaching hires. One of the things, we wrote about at Point Blank back in August, talked about on shows like this. Philadelphia is designed to be able to do a little bit of everything on offense. Whatever hole you have on defense, they can find a way to attack it because of their versatility. And gosh, one of the things they did when they moved Nelson Aguilar to the slot, because he was considered a bust his first couple of NFL seasons. And it was almost like an afterthought. So, okay, let's move you inside. Well, you know what? You don't have many athletes like him in the slot on offense. That just opens up so much for other parts of their attack to happen. So you've got Ertz, you've got Jeffrey, you've got so much depth at running back. Whatever your weakness is on defense, the Eagles can dial something up. And yesterday they were willing to do it. And you're absolutely right about the Viking takeaway. I was going through so much sorting of the Vikings in the postmortem. I'm like, how did this happen so decisively? And they were sort of like you. They were shocked. Philadelphia was a step or two steps ahead the entire time.
Yeah, and the players accept the responsibility. So did Zimmer, sort of, but I thought Zimmer could have. Zimmer was, and you probably read the same stuff I did. Zimmer was sort of, and he even said, he sort of seemed shell-shocked. He didn't really have an answer. He was just sort of, shell-shocked. So I'm sure his presser tomorrow, or if he did one earlier today, etc., he'll probably be more analytical about it. But, I saw Terrence Newman say there was no energy. Everyone in the defensive huddle was sort of, they were blaming each other and what are you doing and what's going on. It was almost, it reminded me of that game when they lost 44-0 or 41-0 or whatever it was to the Giants years ago. Now 0-6 since an NFC Conference Championship games. Just said, listen, we got outworked, we got out schemed. They said, the Eagles were one step ahead of us all day. Like they knew they scouted the hell out of us essentially. So quickly, Dave, let's talk about this Clipper T-Wolf game. We'll get back to the Super Bowl because I got a couple other angles I want to hit about the Super Bowl. T-Wolves tonight. Jimmy Butler's going to be out again today, Dave.
Jimmy Butler's going to be out again. Clippers have been awfully, awfully fascinating. And let's talk about something that is way under the radar. They saw something. People said, watch this guy when he finally gets out there. But here's your stat of the night. When Milos Teodosic plays at least 20 minutes for the Clippers, 12-4 straight up, 13-2-1 against the spread. That's been 16 of his 18 appearances. The two other games he got hurt early. When he's been on the court, that's sort of been their glue to tie everything else together. Because look at the rest of the starting lineup tonight. Tyrone Wallace, Blake Griffin, Wesley Johnson, and Willie Reed. It's hard to find a chemistry. And I'll tell you how tough it's been for the Clippers. I don't know what the all-time record is in the NBA for most players that got a start in a season. Clippers are up to 16 already. 16 different guys have started at least once. 15 players have at least 3 starts. No one's even come close to starting all 45 games. So part of it is Teodosic is the glue that they need. But here's what also happens, Gabe, that I think people don't appreciate too much. When teams are real injury-riddled and they're throwing patchwork lineups out there, it becomes real hard for the opponents to prepare. You really don't have any video to study.
You don't know what they're going to do.
No,
you don't know what they're going to do, right?
If you're Tom Thibodeau at the walkthrough today, you don't know who's going to play, what the game plan's going to be.
You've got noticed, Dave, with this Clipper team, they seem to be pushing the pace. That's one thing. With these sort of street ball rosters they're throwing together, they're pushing the pace, Dave. They're playing up-tempo basketball.
It's the best thing that they could do because Doc Rivers is dealing with 2 elements here in LA. One is, he needs to try to win somehow, but he also needs to be entertaining in that environment. You don't want to lose 95-94 in LA. You want to lose 115-114.
Yeah.
So he's going through a difficult time. But, through all this, for all these guys missing all these games, the Clippers are still at 500. They still have gone out there prepared to compete every night. What I liked about Minnesota the other night, not only Jimmy Butler out, Karl Anthony Towns only played 29 minutes because of foul trouble. They had their backs to the wall a little bit. They scrapped and competed hard. I'm seeing a work ethic from this Minnesota team that the younger guys are finally starting to get it just a little bit. Plus 2.5, I've got a little bit of a Minnesota lead. If the game is close late, give me Wiggins and Anthony Towns over the Clippers. So I think this line has moved a little bit too far. It actually opened Minnesota -2 at Penny. You could take 2.5 now. If it goes to 3 in the next few minutes, I will play. But if I had to lean at 2.5, it would be to Minnesota.
I think I like the over, Dave. I gave the over on the TV show earlier in the day. I think there'll be some points. I think it's going to be a 3-ball fest. Lou Williams is bombing away. Minnesota will take some shots. Wiggins' usage, now I'm talking like a fantasy guy with usages. Wiggins' usage is up. He shoots more when Butler isn't there. I think we have a higher tempo style basketball game tonight.
I think it is. I think both teams will be comfortable running. One of the reasons why the Clippers do it, their half-court offense has been muddled, so they can find a little better looks when they get in the open floor. And when Jimmy Butler's not there, let Wiggins go out and be the man tonight. Let him go out there and go off for 35 points. The Clippers don't have anyone to defend his spot on the court. So, yeah, I could see this one getting a little bit loose. Maybe a Minnesota team total a few minutes before tip-off. Again, if it keeps drifting in the Clipper direction.
I'm leaning with the Clippers, but I don't love it. I gave the over on the show earlier in the day. But I'm just looking at the Clippers here. As you mentioned, they're unpredictable. They're having fun. And, like you and I, we spoke last week, was last Monday night, Dave, actually, the Chris Paul game. And, boy, did we read that one wrong, in which, man, those Clipper players were fired up, Dave. They don't like Chris Paul very much, evidently. And we saw the whole stuff, the confrontations after and the locker room and all that type of stuff that went down. One thing, with the Clippers, and Beverly said it. He's not playing right now, but he said, hey, it's a different Clipper team. They're a little bit tougher. Now, I think Griffin's trying to oversell it a bit, if you notice, Dave. Like every fucking night, Griffin's getting into it with people, and he's mean mugging everybody for them. They seem to generally like each other, at least, Dave.
They do.
There's always friction, and you can just sort of tell that Doc Rivers was sort of juggling shit with Jamal Crawford's a fucking egomaniac dude. You've got DeAndre Jordan's a head case. You had Chris Paul, who thinks he's a know-it-all. You got Griffin. Griffin seems more comfortable, Dave, that it's his team now. They just seem looser, don't they?
Yeah, because the downside of injuries when 16 different guys start, it's a problem from a talent standpoint, but it also means that everyone in that building has had a chance to contribute, has had a chance to be out there. That is a way to keep a team energized, where in the past, no, it was the big three. It was Paul, Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan sort of dominating everything. So everyone is out there being aggressive. Will they hit a wall at some point? I don't know. There comes a time where maybe that energy subsides a little bit because some of these players aren't. I'm amazed they can get away with playing Willie Reed, at center in an NBA game, and he might really struggle against Karl Anthony Towns. But he keeps scrapping and he keeps competing because this is his chance.
Quick score check right now. I'm on the Bulls, actually, plus the points. And, overtime doesn't do me any favors. No, it looks like it won't go to overtime. 113-112 for the Pels right now with 3 seconds left. Bucks are up close to the spread. They were laying 5. They're up 4 right now with 19 seconds remaining. Quick college basketball check. TCU up 47-34, a surprise. West Virginia getting pumped right now on the road. K-State up on Baylor 53-47. We got Michigan State's up 46-36. So, Dave, I want to ask you about the Washington Wizards. And, it's funny. I should have bet against the Wizards tonight. Yeah, it was a revenge spot. The Mavericks beat them earlier in the year. But, Dave, that a team will air their laundry in public like this, like the Wizards are right now. And I'm kind of kicking myself because they told us everything we needed to know. And I'm sure you saw the same things, in which the Wizards had a team meeting, all right, a closed-door team meeting type of deal. And evidently it didn't go very well. And they're admitting it didn't go well. So John Wall is the leader of the team. So John Wall says, I called this meeting, and he goes, I think it actually made things worse. He's saying this publicly. He goes, I think it made things worse. And he throws people under the bus again, where he's like, some guys have to learn to take criticism, and, we said things, and I think, people regret saying shit. They aired out their laundry, except of walking out okay. Everyone walked out like worse. There's a lot of grudges. Speaking of not getting along and stuff, I don't know. And then Bradley Beal said after, the meeting was fucking pointless. It actually made things worse. People need to grow the fuck up and stop, basically being fucking bitches. And I don't know, David. I was speaking to someone today. They told me they think it was actually Beal and Wall that got into it in a meeting. I don't know what happened. No one knows. We weren't in the room. But it's rare that star players will come out of a meeting and John Wall will say, I called a meeting, yet I actually made things worse.
You wonder if this group has been together a little bit too long. I mean, Wall, Beal, and Marcin Gortat, it's been a pretty long time. Usually, unless you win championships or are in the finals, rosters get turned over. Changes get made. You wonder if at a certain point, the fact that the Wizards have basically hit a plateau and haven't been able to take that next step for several years, you wonder if maybe there are some frustrations that are a part of this. We certainly haven't seen Brooks do anything to elevate, their game in any particular way. But you wonder if this might be a core that needs to be split up at this point. Is it like an old married couple who at a certain point just aren't going to get along anymore?
Anywhere, yeah. They're not going on a run in the playoffs or anything. They are what they are. Another quick NBA note, Dave, actually, I find interesting. I don't know, I don't know if it's to be true or not, but there's reports out of San Antonio that Kawhi Leonard's relationship with the Spurs is beginning to strain. And it stems from the rehab. He wants second opinions. He's pissed at the Spurs doctors. And this is strange, Dave. It is. I mean, major injury like this. And then he was out forever. And then he's back, and now he's out again. Behind the scenes, I guess Kawhi Leonard's agent is fucking freaking out. It goes back. Tony Parker had an issue with a calf, and basically they're calling out the doctors. And Popovich and the Spurs, and who was at Buford, they've done a nice job. They're very insular. It's very like the Patriots and stuff. So I don't know if this would be the case, but the fact that it's gotten this far, and that some people are onto this, I'm almost starting to buy into this a little bit. And the exact quotes were that Kawhi's becoming disconnected from the Spurs right now, that he's not his usual self. And they said, listen, he's just frustrated right now. He's not playing. He's pissed off. It's going to be fine once everything settles down here. That quote was, he's getting disconnected and he's very upset. And the agents are probably getting in his head here about this isn't going well. And it'll be interesting to see if the Spurs can put this fire out, Dave. But the Spurs sort of have issues right now. I mean, LaMarcus Aldridge scores 1 million points all the time, and he doesn't really fit in there, until now. They've got point guard issues. I mean, they're not a threat in the playoffs to me at all, Dave.
They really are. Have an upside. What's interesting, you bring up a point with Leonard. Once it gets out there, you have to deal with it, because now you're going to get asked about it from everyone. And this is the sort of thing the Spurs just haven't had to deal with. I mean, going back to the entire Popovich cycle, things like this haven't become an issue for them. Kawhi Leonard has already missed, about 40 games. It's going to be hard to develop a chemistry when he does come back. It is, they're still a tough out in the playoffs because they're going to play smart and hard. They're going to make you work. But I just don't see enough. The upside for the Spurs this year is if this was going to be Kawhi Leonard's year. This was the year that
he's going to carry them and be that MVP candidate and shoot and score and do everything. Exactly.
And it's already getting to the point where, no, there's not going to be enough basketball played for that to happen, because they're already
we were just talking about him, John Wall. You know what I mean? They need another dynamic player, Dave. It's as simple as that. Parker and Patty Mills. It's not fucking happening.
Especially in the Western Conference. I mean, when you look at the gap between their point guard play and everybody else, because what they say they're doing is they say they're slowly transitioning from being Parker's team to being Patty Mills' team. But I still just don't see a Patty Mills upside. To me, I guess it's the way we label people sometimes, but I will forever see him as a 20 or 22-minute guy off the bench. I just can't see him running the show late in a close game against the Warriors, against the Rockets. And when you saw the way the Rockets D'd up on Saturday night at crunch time, and the way they play defense at crunch time when Chris Paul's been there, how does Golden State get through that? I don't know. I don't see it right now, but there apparently is no real timetable that they'll say for Leonard. It can be day to day. It can be week to week. Their response today is, we just don't know. That makes it pretty hard to get past the midway point of the season, and you're still not designing your playoff rotation yet.
Dave Malinsky with us, Vegas Point Blank. You read it on the front page of sportsbookreview.com. And speaking of which, give us a thumbs up to support the free content that SBR is providing you. And make sure to bet out of Sportsbook. Go over to sportsbookreview.com. Pick out a sportsbook that's right for you. Sign up bonus and make some money. All right, so back to the Super Bowl, Dave. Sitting at 5 right now, 48. You know, we assume that Gronkowski is going to play. You mentioned it, though. Philadelphia can attack you in different ways. And that's the thing. They don't have Carson Wentz, but their offensive line is very good. And, you know, they protect Nick Foles. And Nick Foles, you know, if Nick Foles is not under pressure, he can successfully throw the football. But they've got the nice little ground game as well, Dave. With J.J. was a nice pickup to realize, you know what? You know, we need a little bit more firepower in the backfield here. They bring in J.J. You have LeGarrette Blount to pound the rock a little bit. And LeGarrette Blount versus the Patriots is going to be fun in the Super Bowl, Dave. We saw yesterday the Jags were able to play smash mouth football. I think if you're the Eagles, you know, you play smash mouth football and you dink and dunk, man. You play smash mouth football and you dare them to fucking stack the box. And when they stack the box, you know, you do your quick hits and you'll have Jeffrey on man coverage. You mentioned Aguilar will be a matchup issue for them. I think Philadelphia match up extremely well with Philadelphia. And you mentioned Pro Football Focus, Dave, as a guideline. I mean, everyone talks about Saxonville and, you know, the Jacksonville Jaguars and Saxonville, and they get to the quarterback and all that. The Philadelphia Eagles are actually the Pro Football Focus #1 and Pro Football Outsider #1 pass rush. You know, when you take sacks, hurries, hits, and disruptive behavior and add it all up, nobody disrupts plays and blows up the defensive line like the offensive line, like the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line does.
Yeah, and it's one of the big things that you like to see if you're going up against the Patriots. Where do the sacks come from? For the Eagles, it comes from the defensive line. It's so hard to blitz Tom Brady because Brady is such a surgeon in terms of diagnosing defenses. So when you blitz, he knows what hole you've left open. He knows where the counter is going to be. The Eagles can get there without blitzing. Eagles don't have a linebacker that had more than 2 sacks all year. It comes from their defensive. Brandon Graham led the way with 9.5 sacks. But it's that ability. Not only, but if you can get a pass rush from the inside, which they get out of Fletcher Cox, when you've got a defensive tackle who can get up the field and collapse the pocket a little bit, that's what makes Philadelphia so dangerous in this matchup. Where has Brady struggled the most in Super Bowls? You think about those games against the Giants, because the Giants could get there with their defensive line without tactically opening anything up. That is something I think it's going to be significant. And I know we talked about Jim Schwartz on this show in the past.
Yep.
People keep remembering that bad cycle he had as a Detroit head coach, and it was a bad cycle. But guess what? He's been a defensive coordinator at 3 different places. They've been good at all 3 of those places. He's had a top 5 Football Outsiders defense at all 3 teams he's coached with. Jim Schwartz can dial it up about as well as anybody.
Great point, Dave. And I'd like to look back, actually, and see how the Bills did when Jim Schwartz was there against Tom Brady and how they approached it. But, you know, you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, Dave, and, you know, but as far as the coaching staff is concerned, the coaches, all these guys have a chip on their shoulder, Dave. You know, all of them, look, Jim Schwartz, as you mentioned, yeah, kind of, you know, a lot of pot shots about Schwartz over the years. You know, the head coach, the incident with Harbaugh. You know, people, you know, Jim Schwartz's reputation wasn't great. I thought he was criticized unfairly a lot, to be honest. But, you know, he's a guy that's been mocked in the past, hasn't been given out a head coaching job opportunity, despite the fact, you know, turned the Bills defense into a top 5 defense, and then it fell apart with Rex Ryan after, you know, the work that he's done with the Eagles right now. You have Frank Reich, a career backup, Dave, a career backup who's really paid his dues right now as far as working his way up the coaching ladder from a quarterback's coach to an offensive coordinator, etc. led the biggest comeback in NFL history. And people don't realize he also led, and I don't have to tell Dave Malinsky this because the professor knows everything, but he also led the biggest college football comeback in history, guys. Pretty crazy. With the Maryland Terrapins. Boomer Esiason got hurt, Dave, remember? And Frank Reich came in.
I remember that so well. But let's talk about Reich a little bit more, too.
And then you got Doug Peterson. Sorry, Dave. And you got Doug Peterson, who career backup quarterback, but I didn't realize this. Like, basically, the guy was coaching for free, like junior, JUCO football. Like, nothing was handed to Doug Peterson, Dave. He worked his way up the ladder, too.
Yeah, and let's talk about Peterson and Reich a little bit more because, the focus is so much on the plays that Foles made yesterday. They got him the plays to make. And the more you go back and you see the video again, they got receivers open so many times. They stretched that defense. They made it so tough on the Vikings. So when people say, why didn't the Vikings make adjustments? I think they wanted to adjust. They just didn't know. They just didn't know what to be expecting. So they created a lot of openings, for Foles. So what becomes real important? Think about Jacksonville, New England yesterday, and the stops the Patriots got in the first half weren't really New England stops. Opening Jacksonville drive, Blake Bortles has 2 open receivers that he misses. Guys are open. He just didn't make the throws. And, of course, the other time they got stopped, the delay of game penalty right before halftime. So this was a case where the plays were there. They were available. Bortles just didn't make all of them. What happened in the second half? I think it's not getting talked about nearly enough. The New England special teams. Jacksonville had 4 drives in the second half that started at their own 16 or worse. 3 of the 4 were at their own 10-yard line or worse. It was the field position that didn't give Jacksonville the ability to get out there and attack and do what they wanted to do. There are going to be openings. You will be able to make plays against the New England. They're going to be there. But now, again, here's this little bit of a bugaboo. The Nick Foles that executed so flawlessly yesterday. And some of this is irrational. But, Gabe, you get irrational when you watch sports for 40 years. Day in and day out. Is I know what I saw yesterday, I shouldn't necessarily expect to see again. So that, there will be guys open that he might slightly underthrow or throw the ball a little behind or little things can go wrong. There's also a particularly unique pressure. And there's a good way to lay this out. When New England goes to OTAs in May, their whole plan is to be there in February. Physical conditioning, pacing over the course of the season, all of the mental pressures, all of these various things. What was Nick Foles thinking about last May? Could not have been in his head in any way. So the question is, does the pressure now start to build up, or is Nick Foles on the free roll of a sporting lifetime? Because if he plays well in the Super Bowl, he can decide who he wants to play for next year.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And how much he wants.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. So if Nick Foles wins the Super Bowl, how the hell does he not just get a $25 million a year contract from someone after, right? Or, the only other comparable, we're going back a ways. I was a kid and I know about the story, but I didn't see it live, was the Earl Morrall and Bob Greasy stuff, right? So Morrall and Greasy went back and so Greasy got hurt, Morrall played, and then Greasy played the Super Bowl, etc. But Morrall didn't technically win the Super Bowl. Greasy played in the Super Bowl. So Jeff Hostetler is the only backup to win a Super Bowl, Dave. He became a starter after, didn't he? Remember he signed a deal with the Raiders, and he didn't get like a mega deal and mega stardom, but people are like, hey, let's give Hostetler, a guy who won a Super Bowl with the Giants. So with Nick Foles, I was going to ask you that. It'll be interesting to see, actually. I talked about this a little bit today on the radio about Nick Foles. Does he just go back to being Nick Foles and another obscure backup in the NFL, or does he become, even now with what he did, Dave, does it become a commodity?
He becomes a commodity because the league has a shortage of quarterbacks. And it is so bizarre, Gabe, this week because the Senior Bowl is coming up. And we're seeing some of these draft projections and other things that are out there. And Mel Kiper actually floated something out there a little bit about the possibility of Cleveland taking Josh Allen the Wyoming kid, as the #1 overall pick in the draft. Now, if we're talking about Josh Allen being taken #1, that says all you need to know about the state of quarterbacks. If you watch Josh Allen play this year, you wouldn't predict that he would be drafted at all, much less #1. Okay, maybe he's a big kid with a strong arm.
To be honest, Dave.
Yeah.
The Morency drafting service here, I have him. If it's me, I have him ranked as a fucking third rounder. You know, to me, he's one of these third round project type guys. There's no way in hell this guy's a franchise saver, Dave. I mean, I don't know what they're seeing. I know Mel Kiper has him #1. Mel Kiper thinks that 3 guys are going to go in the top 5 for the first time since 1999. And in that quarterback class, Tim Couch went first overall, Achilles Smith, and Donovan McNabb. So McNabb ended up sticking, the other 2 didn't. I don't think that the 3 – do you think that Darnold, Rosen, and Hill are all going to go in the top 5? I don't believe that.
Well, then you got 2 questions. Will they or should they?
Yeah, well, that's a good point. And another thing is, Dave, are any of these guys better than Deshaun Kaiser? Like, Deshaun Kaiser's okay. He shouldn't be 20 years old starting in the NFL, fuck. Everyone knew this. What are you starting the kid for? He needed some seasoning, Dave. And the Browns throw him in there. So it's kind of funny. They might even have a good quarterback now, but it's just such a clusterfuck with Jackson there and everything that they bring in another guy. I mean, Deshaun, you can't tell me that Deshaun Kaiser can't be a quarterback in the NFL in 2-3 years. I mean, but you threw the kid to the Wolves this year, Dave. They ruined him.
Yeah, and they really may have done it. His confidence might have been so battered. But turns to the other, Sam Darnold needs another year of college football. He led the nation in turnovers. So when you're talking about a top 5 draft pick on an inexperienced guy that led the nation in turnovers, that's a problem. Now, you will hear a lot of people saying Josh Rosen is more seasoned than the others. Rosen isn't that seasoned because he's got a new offensive coordinator every year at UCLA. He missed a lot of games to injury. I'm not sure he's that ready yet. Allen just simply wasn't a productive college player going up against, people, he didn't have a supporting cast at Wyoming. Yeah, but look at the defenses he was up against in the Mountain West. You've got to be able to at least produce something. So I don't think on merit there's anything better than a mid-first, but on desperation, we might see guys take it. So that's why when you look at Nick Foles, would you rather draft Sam Darnold or pick up Nick Foles for a couple of years and then maybe find your quarterback in the future down the line? But now here's the question. And I don't know what the universal way to bring this up for the listener. Let's use golf because we probably have more golfers than anything else. Is this a free roll for Foles or is it pressure? So imagine you're Nick Foles and you're lining up about a 7-footer on the 18th and it's for more money than you've ever known. Are you relaxed? Because it's you can't lose any. If you miss the putt, you're still who you were. You don't lose anything that you can gain.
Carefree. He really does. He doesn't seem to. I don't think this is life or death to Nick Foles. I think he really is just enjoying the ride, Dave.
He may well be. Speaking of rides, and this is a shocker to me. I'm watching West Virginia off to the side. Something I wouldn't have thought is possible. There's been a 30-7 run by TCU. I wouldn't have thought, given this particular matchup, that tier of run was even about awfully impressed with the game plan Jamie Dixon. With what I thought was going to be a tired basketball team. Yeah. Now, his kids have been loose, confident. They've played like tonight, like they're the ones on the free roll. If Foles can maintain that, if he can go out there and have some fun, this is a real chance. We know pretty much what the mental state of the Patriots are going to be. They will be calm. They will be collected. They took a big punch from Atlanta, in the Super Bowl early last year, because Atlanta was the better team at the start of that game. So they did some things that the Patriots really did struggle to counter with. It was Atlanta getting in their own way later that turned that around. But the Patriots will be calm. They will be relaxed. They will play pretty close to the best of their abilities here. The wild card is how loose can the Eagles be? Can they stay loose the entire way? If they do, once the game starts, their coaching staff doesn't match up too badly here. Because let's bring it into perspective. We talk about these Belichick defensive numbers. Maybe where we should really talk about it is the Detroit Lions. Because we hear that Matt Patricia may be on the way to Detroit.
Yeah.
Are they on the verge of doing a Ben McAdoo? And the joke we had with Ben McAdoo all along is the Giants made him a head coach before he had ever proven that he was an offensive coordinator in the NFL. Here are the 6 seasons, Football Outsiders defensive ratings, Matt Patricia as a defensive coordinator. Number 20, number 12, number 12, number 16, and number 31. Now, how does that get you a head coaching job?
And stacked with talent too, Dave, as well. Yeah, the Patriots spend money on defense. Yeah, they've spent money. They've had a lot of nice players on defense over the years. I don't know. I wonder too. I mean, look, Shermer got the job yesterday. I mean, Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy called the plays, Dave, for 3 weeks. He gets a head coaching job after the fact. That's why I like the Mike Vrabel hire, at least from a football standpoint, Dave, of a guy that played his dues. You know what I mean? As opposed, like, we can go on and on, Dave, but bounce all over the place here. But who's the new offensive coordinator at FAU? He's 23 years old. It's
you're catching me in my off-season mindless mode because I won't think about FAU again until August.
You know, it's someone's kid here. It's a son, but he's 23. It is.
No, they had to have Charlie Weiss's kid.
Charlie Weiss's kid. That's it.
There was no coach.
23 years old, guys. He is the new offensive coordinator of Florida Atlantic. And it's Charlie Weiss's kid. Lane Kiffin, I don't know, but Dave, do you mock this or do you say, listen, Lane Kiffin says, he reminds me of myself. He's been around football his whole life. And Lane Kiffin said, this kid's like the smartest football mind I've ever met in my life. Like for a kid type shit. Like, I don't know. Supposedly Charlie Weiss Jr. was fucking breaking down tape at 14 for like fucking the Patriots and shit like this. You know what I mean? I guess he's a little guru behind the scenes. 23 years old, though, Dave. And he's going to be the OC of Florida Atlantic. Do you like that?
Well, the guy who is on the free roll, since we're using that terminology, is Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin's got like 3 or 4 years to live in one of the best places, in North America. Enjoy the beach, enjoy the sun, enjoy the restaurants. He does not have to get on a plane to recruit, if he doesn't want to. It's a free roll because on talent, the worst he's going to probably do is maybe have a 6-6 year. So he can only succeed. He can't do anything bad, at FAU. And winning the bowl game and performing the way they did the first year, he's bought himself all this time. So Kiffin can have all the fun in the world. Weiss Jr. will not be his offensive coordinator because he's his own offensive coordinator.
Yeah, no kidding. You're right. Good point.
So he's
not going to be calling the plays. Good point, Dave.
No, so it will be Kiffin who will be running the show. He's got a chance maybe where Weiss can learn a little bit from the process.
Kiffin hired a fucking intern. You know what I mean? You're right.
Exactly.
He hired an assistant. You know what I mean? All right, kid. You really want to be a nut job? This is how I do it, right? You're right. Yeah, that's the gist of it right there. All right, Dave.
What we got to do, Gabe, is we got to find out what the best donut shop is near the FAU coaching offices. Put a camera there and see how many times Weiss Jr. has to run to that shop to pick up the donuts for the other coaches, because that's pretty much what his role is going to be.
It ain't going to be Monty. All right. Okay, somebody asked, Dave. We'll do a last thing at the Super Bowl. Then I got one last thing. We got some NBA breaking news. Last year in the Super Bowl, I actually hit the prop Patriots to win by 1 to 6 points. And it would pay plus 350, and they won by 6. Now, it's kind of a rarity that they won by 6. So Tom Brady's played in 7 Super Bowls, Dave. He's 3-4 against the point spread. He's played in 7 Super Bowls. The Patriots have only won 1 Super Bowl by more than 4 points. Well, let's cut to the chase. 5 of the, they've only won 1 Super Bowl by more than 4, and the other ones were all by 3, actually. And it's ironic. The one by 6 was last year, and it went to overtime and a big comeback. The one they won by 4, Seattle were on the 1-yard line. All their Super Bowl victories other than that are all by exactly 3 points. So where I'm going with this, Davis, the Patriots have never blown anybody out in a Super Bowl. And Brady's been in 7 of them right now. Every single motherfucking one of them have been close, Dave. Every single Super Bowl has been close. So, what do you think of the Patriots to win between 1 and 6 points at plus 300?
I'd like to get just a pinch more value for that. Would probably want a 400 for. So I'd want to take just a little
7
bit.
to 12 is 400, Dave.
Okay. Yeah, I'd want just a little bit. But now here's the big thing. And when you talk about people having multiple accounts at these books, it is so important. Even if you're only going to do it for the next 2 weeks, get multiple accounts because these numbers will be moving. You can get out and shop the props.
This could be plus 350 somewhere else. I'm just looking at one book right now. You're right.
So that's the biggest thing that listener, if you can afford to spread your money around a little bit, get a few accounts open, watch that movement because you do have a chance. And when I bet the props is basically what I'll pick up some bargains here and there, find some off numbers. I said the best of the props will get beat up early because the guys first to the window in the props market, they're some of the sharpest people out there in any betting market. So it is a tough crowd that'll be first at the Westgate and other places. But will we see some floating numbers out there with value over the course of the weekend? We always have in the past.
Dave Malinsky with us. All right, Dave, we're going to speak tomorrow on TV. But last thing before we get you out of here, normally I don't do the rumors and stories and all this stuff, but Wojo obviously is Wojo's on top of things. So Wojo, Davis, just breaking from about an hour ago, about 45 minutes ago, whatever. Cleveland Cavaliers held an emotional team meeting prior to Monday's practice. Several players challenged the legitimacy of Kevin Love leaving Oklahoma City's loss on Saturday with an illness and then missing Sunday's practice. If I'm Kevin Love, to me, the blame Kevin Love card is getting old in Cleveland, Dave. Like, I'm serious. I'm amazed he didn't split before. I just, to me, it's enough. If I'm Kevin Love, I just tell my agent, enough of this fucking bullshit. Get me the fuck out of here. Enough of this crap, Dave. LeBron always blames Kevin Love. Remember, this goes back. It's been years. It's the same crap all the time. The Cleveland Cavaliers have a lot of problems. Kevin Love's not the biggest problem they have, Dave.
No, I'm sort of with you on that if you're Kevin Love, maybe it's nice to be on the way out. Here's what I'm going to read something that's going to go in tomorrow's Point Blank. This is from Dwayne Wade. He's been around. He knows the game. This is probably the most honest appraisal you will hear from a professional basketball player about the state of the Cavaliers. And this was yesterday. Quoting Wade, one thing in this game, defense is driven by the offense. It's unfortunate that it's that way, but a lot of guys play better when they're involved offensively. So when guys don't feel like they've been involved, they're not getting their shots, they're not getting their looks, that makes their defense slide. If the trust is not there, if they're not feeling like they're a part, we're struggling even more defensively. We're already the oldest team in the league and not great individual defenders. This is Dwayne Wade's way of saying, look, we got a lot of selfish guys here that want the ball, and if they don't get the ball, they're not going to go guard anybody. And guess what? I know what I'm talking about because I've played in this league for 13 or 14 years. That's Wade being about as honest can be. Maybe it's just not fixable, but because here's the thing, even if they try to come together, they can't guard anybody anyway. The defensive chemistry is just so bad. They thought they were going to have to outscore the Warriors. So they go out and they get Kyle Korver, and they bring in Isaiah Thomas. You're not going to outscore anybody if you can't guard. Cleveland next to last in the NBA on full season defense. But here's the fun one, and we're going to put this stat also in Point Blank tomorrow. Since Christmas Day, Cleveland has been the worst team in the NBA. Not the biggest underachiever, flat out the we use points per 100 possessions, plus minus. Cleveland dead last. To set the perspective on that, right above them, the Sacramento Kings and the Phoenix Suns. How bad are you when you're worse on a net PP 100 chart than those two? So not just underachievers, they flat out, since losing to the Warriors Christmas Day, they've been the worst basketball team in the NBA.
And, we'll get you out of here, Dave, but I blame LeBron. Like it's his team. He's the one that keeps putting these guys together. He's the one that told them to sign Tristan Thompson to that big money. He's the one that wanted he's the one that didn't want Andrew Wiggins there, and only to blame Kevin Love all the time. You go down the list. He's the one that wanted J.R. Smith to stay. He's the one that wanted Shumpert to get the money. We can go on and on. He's the one that wanted to get rid of Kyrie Irving. Or he didn't want to get rid of Kyrie. He just wanted to blame Kyrie and treat Kyrie like shit all the time. He wanted to leave this year and leave Kyrie fucking leaving the bag in Cleveland. Like LeBron, I don't think LeBron's a bad person per se, Dave, but he really does think the world revolves around him. And, he's going to Dan Snyder right now. We need help. I need this. I need that. They're already losing $140 fucking million a year. They're already way over the fucking luxury tax. Like, who are they going to bring in? I hear now LeBron wants DeAndre Jordan. What the fuck is that going to do, Dave? What's that going to do for them? Like, it's over. It is what it is. Everyone knows LeBron, and word is out in the NBA in this offseason. Various players that the Cavaliers were involved with trades with basically said, I'm not going to Cleveland. And they said, I don't want to go to Cleveland, one. And then two, I've said this the whole time about LeBron's career, Dave. It's not like Michael Jordan or Golden State where players are willing to line up and play with him, if you notice. You know what I mean? Like, guys aren't, I'll take less money. I want to play with LeBron and be part of this. That doesn't work with LeBron. People don't like him. And I'm not saying they hate him, but he's got his little inner circles of buddies that he likes, and that's that. And no one's running to play with him. Nobody wants to play in Cleveland. And word is out. Everyone fucking knows he's leaving Cleveland, Dave, after this year. Why is any player going to go there? So even if you're DeAndre Jordan right now and you hear, oh, you know what, we're going to trade you to the Cavs, he's going to say, damn, no, you're not. And tell them I'm not fucking going there. And fuck that. You better trade me somewhere else. I'm not going to Cleveland. And it's just a fact, Dave. That they're done. I hope their fans enjoyed the little run. It's over.
Well, you know what's actually fascinating about this, too? At this point, they're only 4.5 games for being out of the playoffs completely. That's far off they fall. The guy who's got to be loving this, David Blatt.
Oh, yeah. You see his little crack last night?
Yeah. I mean, how much can he – because also so much of this became inevitable when Tyronn Lue was given that head coaching job when he was nowhere near being ready.
And David – he's in way over his head now. There's nothing he can do. Like, can Lou come in and start yelling at people, Dave? Like, Lou's probably looking at his watch thinking, well, you know what? Fuck, I'm buddies with Doc Rivers. Maybe I can get an assistant gig out in L.A. you know, Lou's thinking that right now because not like he's getting hired as a head coach anytime soon after this.
Yeah, it's like, what did they think was going to happen? It was almost going to be an inevitability. So now you have a guy who can't control the players from an ego standpoint. He can't drop the X's and O's. There just isn't really a way to get this fixed. But now here's the thing. All that keeps Cleveland alive is just get to the playoffs, and there isn't anybody in the East that you can't beat in a playoff series. And that's where there is that silver lining for them. In the back of LeBron's mind, he's got to know that if they've got to go through the Raptors and the Celtics, it's still possible. You can't win the championship. Not going to beat the Warriors. Wouldn't beat the Rockets. But it's still possible to get out of the East because those other teams are good, but not great yet.
Dave Malinsky, exactly. I'm not ready. I'm not pouring fucking. I'm not putting sand on the coffin yet, Dave. Especially in the playoffs. As we saw yesterday with the referees and the Patriots, LeBron's going to get the calls in the playoffs. It is what it is. So yeah, we'll get about that. You like the refs celebrating, Dave, yesterday?
Oh, there are so many bizarre elements. that do come out of this, it is what it is. It's the sort of thing we kind of have to deal with off to the side. I try to say as little about some of these things as possible, but 2 more weeks of another Patriot Super Bowl. It's nice that I got college baskets, even though I bet West Virginia 25-1 to win the national championship today. I could probably get 35 tomorrow after a really, really clunker from them against ECU. But there is stuff that we will get out and get involved in every day. A lot of interesting things, because tomorrow's Point Blank, in fact, will focus on something I think is a major issue. We love the athleticism of the Celtics, bringing in the young guys. Tatum has developed ahead of schedule. This is great. The best defense in the NBA. Well, guess what? Who's been the worst offense in the NBA in the month of June or January? It's been the Celtics. What they're finding out is, as good as they are defensively, they need more weapons on offense. We'll bring them front and center a lot of interesting statistical takes on where the Celtics have to go if they want to be able to elevate a little bit. So this is what we do. Everybody else can focus on the Super Bowl the next 2 weeks. We got plenty of baskets to go grind.
You know what? I look forward. We'll talk about that tomorrow, Dave, because I want to hit you at an angle too. That these young players. Jason Tatum's never played this much basketball before. And just wait, buddy. You haven't even started playing yet. You know what I mean? Yeah. The league, we're going 60% right now. You think fucking Kyrie and DeMar and shit are going 90 yet or 95? Just wait till it raises up a notch and it's fucking hot and you're getting elbowed. Like Tatum, when you rely on young guys, you're going to hit a wall. And I think that's going to happen. We'll hit on that tomorrow. Dave, it's always an honor to break it down with you. Always enjoy it. Hour just flew by here tonight. And we didn't think there was anything to talk about, Dave.
We will always find something, Gabe. I will talk to you in the morning.
Dave Malinsky. There's Dave Malinsky with us. Always a pleasure with Dave Malinsky. Yeah, really looking forward to the basketball. What up, Jabron? No, you know what? He's not going to go to the Lakers, man. Before I thought maybe he was a potential too before, but he's not going to the Lakers. Lakers have Lonzo Ball. They're not going anywhere. LeBron James, as good as he is, he can't make a team win. You know what I mean? We're seeing it. LeBron James has good players right now. He can't win. It sounds crazy. LeBron's a great player, but he can't lead a team. Like, he can't make a team win. Like, if he can't fucking make the Cleveland Cavaliers win in the East right now, with Isaiah Thomas and Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson and fucking JR and everyone that they have in the East, how the fuck's he going to make the Lakers win? And LeBron is still too competitive to give up. LeBron might end up on the Lakers, in 7 years type shit. LeBron ain't going anywhere, guys. He's still young. He looks old and shit with the hairline and he's worn out his face, but he's still young. Like LeBron wants to play for another 10 years type shit. He ain't going anywhere. Like, it's not like this is the end. Like, LeBron's signing one more deal somewhere. No. Like, this chapter is going to keep going, guys. He's still dominant, fuck. But the thing is, he's a weird player because he has the ball in his hand all the time. So he doesn't make people around him. It's a weird deal with LeBron. He's going to have to change his game moving forward and decide, how am I going to fit in here? That's how it's going to go. I mean, we talk about LeBron a lot. I think the Houston Rockets is where he's going to end up. I think LeBron wants to win more. His legacy is not complete. He's only got fucking, what does he got? He's got 3 titles. Not enough. I saw Paul Pierce and Billups talking about LeBron the other day, and they raised a good point. They said it's to the point now where LeBron, he's not winning in Cleveland, all right? It's over. And now they're blaming Love. Like, this shit's falling apart, man. So, it's interesting where he's going to end up after all this. Because if he goes to the Lakers, he ain't winning. Yeah, he'll make money and he'll be with Magic and business interests, but he can have that anyways. I still think he wants to win, but they brought up a good point as far as LeBron. His new thing is going to be to become the #1 scorer of all time. And he's going to be able to do it. So he's going to pass Jordan. He's going to pass fucking Kareem and everything. And like they said, if he can get one more title, 4 titles, NBA all-time leading scorer. Because even though LeBron is like, you notice kids today, younger people, they pretty much anointed LeBron into the Jordan category. He's not there. He's not even in Kobe's category. He's the most dominant guy now, but he doesn't win enough. Like, let's look. Tom Brady's been in 7 Super Bowls. He's won 5 of them. LeBron James has been in what? How many NBA finals? He's been in what? 7, 8? He's won what? 3 of them. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the same. Like, so I'm not ripping LeBron. I'm just stating LeBron knows for him to really be the king, like if LeBron wins another 2 titles, I'll fucking say, you know what? He's there. 5 titles, all-time scorer, dominant player. I can't take it away from him. He's not there. He's not there. You won with Miami. You guys stacked the deck. You fucking you choked out in fucking San Antonio. Oh, it's hot in here. I got cramps. Where's the air conditioning? Where's the air conditioning? Fucking old days Boston Garden, man. People were collapsing. It was so hot in there. The steam and shit. Like air conditioning. Like LeBron's not in that killer category to me. You're not in that category with Kobe. You're not in that category with MJ. You don't have 5 rings. Where's your, yeah, you've been around, but you lost. He needs another legacy. He needs another legacy. You won in Miami. You won in Cleveland. You go to Houston. You fucking beat the Golden State Warriors with Chris Paul and Harden. Then I tell you what, I'll bow to the king. Fuck. I'll say, you know what, man? Motherfucker won 3 titles. He won titles on 3 different fucking teams, man. Like, I'm not saying that LeBron's one of the all-time greats. I'm just stating he needs more. He needs more. LeBron's Metallica. Fuck. He's not the Rolling Stones. You know what I mean? Like, he needs more. You need some icing on the cake here, brother. Now, we talked about it last week a lot. San Antonio, another good fit for LeBron James. San Antonio is a good fit for LeBron. We just talked about this with Malinsky. LeBron James and Greg Popovich get along very well. They both hate Trump. They're both, they just like each other. They get along well. That's a good start. The fact that there's no tax in Texas is a very good start. The fact that they're very good, that's a good start. There's a lot of symmetry there. There's a lot of symmetry, for the state of Texas and LeBron here. In the East. And he ain't staying in Cleveland. So, ultimately, I think he'll end up with the Houston Rockets. But, the thing is, the Rockets, I don't know how much fucking money the Rockets. I mean, is there a salary cap? Well, you're going to have LeBron, Harden, and Paul. Like, how are you going to pay this shit? LeBron, is LeBron going to take a discount? Probably not, What up, Tim Anderson? He doesn't like New York, Tim. LeBron has never showed any interest in the Knicks or playing for the Knicks or Dolan. Like, he's never shown anything. I know he's a Yankee fan, but like, he's never desire for LeBron to play for the Knicks. The Knicks are like the Leafs. Everyone thinks, the Knicks think everyone wants to play for them. They don't. And that's a good point by Drew. That's a very good point. Fuck. LeBron would know he would have a coach that would let him rest when he wanted to. It's a good fit. You know what I mean? Kawhi Leonard, LaMarcus Aldridge, LeBron James, and a fucking 3-ball shooter, and you've got yourself a team. You got some big fucking dudes. They wouldn't win, though. They're too stiff. You know what I mean? They're all big guys. Like, No. The Knicks don't even want LeBron. Exactly. The Knicks aren't giving LeBron all that money. The Knicks have their own thing going here. And LeBron, like I said, LeBron doesn't want to rebuild the fucking Knicks. LeBron's not rebuilding shit, man. The guy's fucking putting his fist through the blackboard in the locker room every night now on the Cavs, all right? You think he wants to go to a worse team? He's not going to a bad team. He's not going to a bad team. That's like the Lakers are out. The Clippers are a possibility. I know he likes LA. He's got a place in LA. It's good business in LA. Steve Ballmer's fucking filthy rich and really could offer him some crazy shit. Yeah, we talked about it. He could say, listen, I'll offer you ownership of the Clippers after if you want. Yeah, he could do some crazy shit, but he doesn't have anyone to play with in the Clippers. It goes back, guys. The NBA are little cliques, all right? It's all little cliques of guys. You know, Durant and Curry and fucking, you know, like Westbrook doesn't really have people. He doesn't have a lot of friends in the league. That's why he kind of doesn't. He struggles in OKC to get. It's hard to get people to go there, but Westbrook's also another guy. Westbrook doesn't have a ton of friends in the league. So there's all these little cliques. So the whole thing with LeBron is very close. He's like this with Chris Paul, all right? They're fucking union guys, and they're close and shit. LeBron respects Chris Paul, all right? He likes Harden. Harden and LeBron get along, and it's rare. LeBron doesn't get along with a lot of people in the league. So it's a good fit. He's fucking done, though. He's motherfucking done in Cleveland. He's way done in Cleveland. What up, Kyle Hamburg? All right, we're going to take our first break of the evening here. What was the final score in that Bulls game anyways? All right, Bulls cover. They lose, but they cover. 35-32 right now in the Clipper game. T-Wolves are up 35-32. Calgary Flames. Calgary Flames and the Buffalo Sabres are tied at 1. I need the Flames for a parlay. I played a pro line tonight, actually. I hit the Avalanche. I hit the Minnesota Wild. Now I need the Calgary Flames. So you know the Sabres are going to win. Just take the Sabres in game right now. You'll win. What the fuck? I don't have the NBA game? I have fucking tennis. They'll show the Lakers, eh? But I guess not the motherfucking Clippers. All right. I have to get a stream for the Clip Show going here. I'll just leave it on this Buffalo Calgary game. Come on, Flames. Go, Flames, go. What's up, Drew? Drew Killazoska. NBA TV. What up, Eric LeDuc? I don't get NBA TV. Now, I'm looking in the chat here right now. It's hard for me to keep up on all this stuff, but it appears I think we probably have some trolls in the chat, don't we? As in Steve Stevens. And who's this fat pussy? You're gone too, fuck. See, I look away for a minute. Was Stevens that bar guy? I see Big Man on Campus is here now. Was Stevens that bar guy? Well, hello, Thunderwing. There's fucking they're all nut jobs, bro. All right, so yeah, like I said, I haven't looked in the chat much. Yeah, but no, that's not even the real Steve Stevens. I think Chris Barr is pretending to be Steve Stevens for some reason. But I'm not going to concern myself with that. All right, we got to take our first break of the evening. We got to take our first break of the evening here. 1-1 in the hockey game. We'll continue our Super Bowl conversation. We don't have full props, but I got some numbers now starting to pop up, actually. We got the Kevin Love stuff. It was Monday Night Raw's 25th anniversary. We'll actually talk a little wrestling. Ronda Rousey in the Royal Rumble this week. There's odds. And we got breaking news. WWE suspends Enzo Amore. Enzo Amore, a certified G, and you can't teach that. Well, evidently you can teach that. WWE suspends Enzo Amore after a woman on Twitter alleges he raped her. And then told her after, I got 1 million followers on Instagram. She should be begging for the dick. Now, for the record, from what I've read about this and from what I see, I don't believe it. And secondly, so what? Somebody says something on Twitter and you get suspended now? Like, you know, you guys better have fucking investigated this, but we'll hit the story. There's a little bit of a backstory here with this chick that's accusing him of this as well. Big Man on Campus will be with us tomorrow on the Fantasy Sports Network. I swear to God, the Clipper breaks are the worst, fuck.
Let's go, Clipper Nation! Hands up, hands up! Come on! Here we go, then. Let's go, let's go. Turn it up, turn it up. Woo! Yeah. Clipper Nation, you know what we do. Where you going, Alessandro? Where you going? Take us to the ground. Yeah! Hey!
Welcome back to Staples Center. Clippers leading the Timberwolves by 1. Well, Patriots head coach Bill Belichick, widely considered one of the greatest coaches ever, and you're not going to get any argument from Doc Rivers, longtime friend from his time coaching in Boston, was glued to that AFC Championship game yesterday, which, of course, the Patriots won, and Doc Rivers was fully expecting to see that comeback. Belichick is headed to his 8th Super Bowl appearance. And Doc said the Patriots just fun to watch, awesome to see the way they play. He even said that there's things from the football film that you can apply to basketball in terms of the trust and execution and how they play. Certainly a lot of respect there, Ralph.
Yeah, he learns a lot just talking to and watching. Belichick. Montrezl Harrell will get the personal foul on that one, and they wind up with a field goal and a trip to the free throw line.
You know, you talk about the different lessons that you can learn when it comes to different sports. I mean, the Patriots, the veteran ball club, in the playoffs, obviously, but down 10 points in the fourth quarter against a young Jaguar team. Those are the little things where I think people don't really understand that when you have veterans, they really help out the process when you're dealing with youth.
And there was no doubt in that last drive, Mark Brady, they were going to score. It's just okay. It's going to happen. No question about it. Another big goal for the Clippers. Harrell with 10 points in the game. We're tied at 43. Clippers are so much more alive the defensive end than they were in the first quarter, and they gave up 30 points.
And I'm sure a lot of that had to do with Doc during that timeout saying, hey, fellas, we don't want to start off like we did in Utah. We're at home right now. Nothing is set in stone for us.
The lob and the tap home.
It's even different with the lob now, you know, without DJ there.
Right.
You didn't say jam there, Ralph.
You just throw it up high for DJ. He goes and gets it wherever it is. Jones, that's a bit of an air ball. Cornwell goes to get it. Here comes Lou. 9 points in the quarter. He's fouled. Gibson's going to draw the personal foul.
Let's go, Clippers. I'm on the Clippers.
Montrez, he's always around that basket. This is, again, second chance opportunities with that, and then always being active around that basket. It's paid off big dividends for Montrez and his playing time.
Teodosic is in. Ty Wallace will sit down. Milos brings it in to Lou. He got bumped. Free throws coming for Lou Williams. Gibson picks up the foul, and Lou goes to the free throw line where he is positively expert. 91% in the year, 95% in January. I can't believe I did that. Beginning tomorrow, purchase or lease a new Kia vehicle at a participating Southern California Kia dealer, and you'll receive 2 free tickets to one upcoming Clippers home game while supplies last. Check out Clippers.com for more in the Slam Dunk deal, brought to you by Kia, the official vehicle of the LA Clippers, who lead by 1. Back door open. So Wiggins has 16. He had 22 in the first half against Toronto, 22 of the 29. Karl Anthony Towns, who hasn't got a field goal tonight, had all 22 of his points in the second half. Griffin felt a contact, earns a trip to the free throw line.
This looks like an old Kansas Jayhawk play right here. The simple back door, and with Wiggins, he just, you know, it's hard to describe when you see young players that have quick bounce off the floor, Ralph. And he's one of those guys, and when he came into the game, they talked about his athleticism, but you're starting to see it on display even more so now.
Blake misses the free throw. Hey, through NBA Voices, the NBA's effort to address social injustice and bridge divides in our communities, the NBA, its players and teams are supporting National Mentoring Month. Visit voices.nba.com. Sign up to be a mentor today. Boy, Blake missed both those almost identically. Minnesota by 1. Clipper free throw shooting. 4 out of 9. Nice. Another backdoor shot. Belich's out of bounds, and he makes the catch. So Clippers get it back. Minnesota turns the ball over for the 5th time. Griffin, Teodosic, Williams, Johnson, and Harrell for the Clippers. But you have DeAndre Jordan back soon, hopefully, Wednesday against Boston. Blake picks it up, checks the clock. Works on Wiggins. Milos. Down low to Wesley, who drives and gets an easy one.
Milos always watching where guys are. And, good for Milos getting guys involved so early, even off of a shot fake.
Rivers by a point. Gibson left free. Griffin goes to get it. Here he comes. And the mishandle cost the Clippers an opportunity to score. Jump pass decided in midair. 3:20 remaining in the first half. Teague had a good start in the first quarter. Shot clock at 2. Gibson saved it for Gelichuk. Guy is a demon on the offensive line. Wiggins for 3. That's his second 3-pointer of the game. Wow. He has 19. 50-48. The lead is 2. Nice move by Wes Johnson. Not the shot. Didn't get to make. He feels he can have his way with Milos. Timeout will be taken by the Clippers. 2 minutes and 34 seconds to go. We're in quarter number 2. The Timberwolves by 4. I just feel like the sky's the limit for the Clipper Ball Club right now. They're standing in 8th place, but look how close they are to 7th, 6th, 5th. Even 4th and 3rd, I think, are within reach of this ball club.
And just 2 wins separate those types of situations you're talking about there, Ralph. And it's funny. The West, you never seen it quite that congested. I think from 3 to 9. So it'll be interesting as we continue to move on through the season to see exactly what transpires.
You just forget how quickly things can change. Clippers a half game ahead of Denver now. 11 games ago.
Buffalo Sabres on the power play right now. What up, Bruce Chad? That's right. Sabres on the power. Bruce Chad's on top of his game tonight. One. I need the Flames here, man. And as you can see, I didn't deal with the loss very well last night. Holy fuck. Well, you slander yourself, buddy. Just go away, fuck. Why do you want to hang around a show where no one likes you, buddy? See, I know, like if I went over to the Sportsnet chat room right now, people probably wouldn't like me. So I'm not there. It's like Jerry Seinfeld. Fuck. Nobody likes you. Why don't you just leave the building? Nobody likes you. I get that feeling in my own condo sometimes. I got thrown off today. There was a hot MILF that was all smiley and talkative with me in the elevator today. Yeah, the people would like me. Sportsnet wouldn't like me. Come on, Calgary. Just come on, man. Throw us a bone here, Calgary. Throw us a bone. Yeah, so I was saying about Enzo Amore before. I imagine the WWE wouldn't just suspend him just because you know, some chick on Twitter said something. All right, so here's the gist of it. WWE immediately suspended Enzo Amore. It hasn't commented on the situation. But the woman tweeted today, she has filed a police report. No charges have been filed, though, as of today. She claims that Enzo Amore sexually assaulted her one night when she was passed out. Enzo Amore hasn't commented. She tweets, okay, it's been long enough and I've been so scared to share this. In October, I was raped by WWE's Enzo Amore, also real name Eric Arden, and Tyler Grosso, and Trooper Let It Happen as accomplices. I was in a mental hospital for 45 days after it. They are not good people. I don't know who this Tupor is. He goes, what are you doing this for? Publicity, a check? Why the fuck would I set someone up for rape? That is disgusting. Now, the thing is, this girl that's accusing them, it actually has a YouTube video up about how she faked a pregnancy. This is the chick here.
Clearly, it was not good. Those referees are pretty good, folks. They don't give them enough credit. So at the half,
okay, guys, I'm fucked in the head.
Like, I'm fucked in the head.
Yeah. I am on a handful of medication.
You suspended this guy? Hey, Vince, like, all right, a little background check on the woman. She has a YouTube video up.
He's behind the camera because this is boring.
Look at the camera. Tell your story.
Okay, guys, I'm fucked in the head.
Like, I'm fucked in the head.
Yeah. I am on a handful of medication. I have. Oh my God. And at the same time, I'm a redhead. And I'm a Pisces. That's why my dad keeps telling me to get a job and how I need to, like, go further in life. And I'm like,
I'm going to OD on cocaine, so. You're also 4'10".
4'11", actually. Okay. My license says 5 foot.
You lied on your license?
Mm-hmm.
That's
It was so cute, like, on his couch. And then, I kid you not, pick up, flip, rip pants off, stick in, boom. Kid you not. And I was like, I'm tired. And he's like, one sec, baby, one sec.
This is going to... Oh, here's another video of hers here. Of her apologizing on YouTube for using the N-word. Yeah, this sounds like she's real credible. See, chicks like this, man, you're ruining the Me Too movement. Not that it wasn't ruined to begin with. You know what's funny? Earlier tonight, this chick's video had 69 views. Fuck. Now it has 9,000. So clearly people have seen the story and saw the little link of her saying, how I faked the pregnancy. That is a good point, Scott F. That is a very good point. Oh, look, Buffalo scored what? Just like that? Oh, no, all right. It's going overtime. Oh, God, 4-on-3 in overtime. Yeah, listen, I don't like to make light of stories like this, but you just heard. I mean, this chick doesn't sound like the most credible woman in the world, does she? I'm fucked. I'm on medication. I faked a pregnancy. That's good because I had the over in that game. All right, so we're going to overtime here. The Sabres on a 4-on-3. We're probably going to lose here and get fucking screwed. I'm on the Clippers as well. The Clipper over's not looking good. We had the West Virginia over, though. So, yeah, the Clippers, actually, no, you know what? It's on pace. Fuck, it's 61-57 at the half right now. 61-57. So, yeah, the total's looking good. The second half number here is LA Clippers -1.5 over under 108.5. Yeah, I don't see it's not. I don't think it's going to slow down. Listen, I'm on the Clippers. I got +2 with the Clippers, so I'm not abandoning ship right now. I'm going to hope for the best. Andrew Wiggins is lighting it up. We should have played the Wiggins props. Fuck, I fucking knew it. I remember I said it with Dave before, but how Wiggins scores 1 million points when Butler's not there. He gets to shoot more, and he's pretty good. He's a good offensive player, Wiggins. Fucking Buffalo, man, they're about to score. Oh, they got a fucking power play 4-on-3. It's like impossible not to score. Oh. 20 seconds left in the power play. Right. For those of you wondering if I'm drinking wine here or something, I am not. I would admit if I was. You'd be able to tell. I'd be angrier and surlier. It looks like wine. It's water. Not fucking around. That's a jug of water. Yeah, classy. Cheers. The Distinguished Sports Program. It's pathetic. Ah, there it is. Of course, fucking. Of course I lost. Buffalo Sabres win in overtime. Why wouldn't they? I swear to God, man, the Calgary fucking Flames. The Calgary Flames can't win at home, man. They win on the road only. No, the reason I'm drinking out of this wine glass, I've got no more dishes. Like literally. Like I literally have no more dishes left. No, this was it. I had one wine glass left that isn't like dirty. It needs to be washed. So this was it. I chose to drink water out of a wine glass than actually do the dishes. I'm reduced to one fucking wine glass. Fucking Calgary, man. Fuck, am I sick of this bullshit. They always fuck me. I fucking hate the Calgary Flames, man. I knew they were going to fuck me. I knew Minnesota would win. I knew the Avs would win, but I fucking knew this would be the fucking game that would screw me, man. They don't win at home. They're 13-5 on the fucking road and 13-13 at home. On the road, they don't win at home, this team. They can't win at home. They never win at home. The president's choice. I'm the president. And it's my choice. Fuck, man, do I fucking ever fucking hate the Flames. I knew the Sabres were going to score. Fuck. It's just fucking, I knew it. And there it is. Fuck. I told you. Just take the T-Wolves in the second half. Fuck. I need the Clippers to close out the parlay. Just take the fucking T-Wolves. Fuck, man. You guys see it. Unless I win a hockey game in regulation, I'm not winning the game. You see it. You see it. You see it every night here. I fucking lose in overtime every fucking time, man. Like, you figure, like, just randomly, man, just randomly, that I would fall ass backwards into an overtime win. Nope. Like I told you, let's start keeping the record. It's really, like, what is it? What is it? I think we won one shootout with the Vegas Golden Knights like 2 months ago. Literally. That was like the one time I won a fucking overtime or a shootout game. Other than that, I think it's like, what, 11 in a row? Every fucking night, man, we fucking sit here and I lose in fucking overtime, man. Doesn't matter what team I have. If I have the favorite, I have the underdog, I got a Wayne fucking Gretzky shooting. It wouldn't fucking matter. It's like physically impossible, fuck. Why don't you shut the fuck up, Golden Brady? That's a better question. Every fucking time a game goes to overtime in hockey, I get fucked. I lose in the shootout. I lose in the fucking shootout. I lose in overtime. Hey, Bar, you're gone. But whatever, fuckface. Just create a new account and fucking come back in again, and we'll boot you out again in 2 minutes. You're such a fucking winner. I know. You're winning $50,000 a bet, fuck. Sitting in a chat room, fucking creating new accounts. I've never seen a team like the Calgary Flames, Tim. I've never seen a team like the Calgary Flames like this. Like, what kind of fucking team? They're deranged. They're insane. They're like this fucking bar, dude. They're deranged, the Calgary Flames. Like, how the fuck can you be fucking 25 and fucking 17 on the season and you're 12 and 12 at home? They're 13, 5 and 4. Look, of course they lose. They're 7-1 and 2 in their last fucking 10 games. And of course they got to fucking lose to the Buffalo Sabres. Fuck. Cam's going to have a heart attack. Fuck. Right now, I guarantee you, Cam, like, just fucking put his fucking... Cam probably just smashed his TV. The Cam's on the verge of a fucking meltdown. And this isn't going to help him. Fucking Leafs lose. Fucking Calgary lose. I remember he told me today. I was surprised, too, because Cam's an underdog better. He said, oh, no, the Sabres fucking are terrible. Fucking Sabres are terrible, yet they beat the Calgary Flames tonight. Why wouldn't they? Fucking Buffalo. You won 12 games all year. You got to win right now, eh? Fuck me, man. Feel like this chick.
Yeah. He's behind the camera because this is boring.
Look at the camera. Tell your story.
Okay, guys. I'm fucked in the head.
Like, I'm fucked in the head. Yeah.
I am
She must be a Flames fan.
Full medication. I have.
All right, Tim. Everyone's just waiting for your Super Bowl, Tim. Your Super Bowl pick. You have your Super Bowl pick ready yet? Who's the curse? Who's the curse on? Hey, big man, you better hope that Tim Anderson doesn't say he's picking Eagles right now. I almost feel, though, that it's too early for Tim to expose this. Like, we got to get Tim on and, like, build it up. No, that's the real Tim Anderson. You can tell because he's smart. You can tell. It's hard to fake Tim Anderson. I can tell the way Tim types and talks. Like, that's Tim. Radio Row's not open yet. Yeah, whatever you take, Tim, I'm laying $5,000 on. Lay it on us. There is no curse. Where's Tim? Well, now he's gone. Nah, he's probably getting a gelato or something like that. Oh, there he is. Oh boy. Oh, there it is. $23-17 Eagles. 23-17 Eagles. Oh boy. Paul's like, take it back, man. Yeah, I saw that, Drew. Tim Anderson's like, I don't need to go to Italy for gelato. I get my gelato at the mall. It's fine. So Tim picks the Eagles outright. So basically, you know what? Tim is a smart man. Tim is a smart man. So so you guys like the gelato crack. It's an inside joke with Tim. Like I say, he was Drew knows. He was bitching about gelato the other day on Twitter. No, so listen, Tim Anderson, his picks are good, guys, but he always loses in a heartbreaking fashion. We should just get Tim on. You want to come on, Tim, or are you busy right now? Maybe you're not dressed and you're in bed or something. I don't want to put you on the spot, Tim. Don't worry. You don't have to come on. If you don't want to come on now, it's cool. We'll do it later in the week or whatever. Basically, if Tim says the Eagles win 23-17, the Patriots are going to win 24-23. The Patriots will win. It'll be a painful fucking way. And, you know, Tim will Tim will be blamed. Tim will be blamed. The Patriots will win a dramatic close game, and Tim will be blamed after for the curse. That's how this is going to go. Listen, I hate the fucking Patriots, all right? I hate the Patriots. I want to see them lose. I'm pulling for the Eagles. Yeah, of course Tim was on the Falcons last year. No, listen, and Tim can come on later in the week if he's not ready for it. It's all good. Match fixer alert, swinging for the fences. I like your style. Yeah, why not? Match fixing alert. Listen, how do you guys really think the Super Bowl is going to go? You know what, Dean? I think I'm on to the final score, bro. We need to bet the exact final score, 24-23 now. It's going to land on that. All right. Anderson's coming on. Surely, Omar. If I can't get my Super Bowl pick now, I get my Super Bowl pick, you know. I get my Super Bowl pick on the Wednesday before the Super Bowl generally. Got to build this shit up, bro. It's called drama, show business. Well, the Eagles are the underdog. Listen, the Pats fucking here's Jazz, the one Tim Anderson basher. Jazz hasn't been in the chat in 3 fucking days. Like Tim Anderson coming on. Now he's like, the show's Andrew cursed. He's going to ruin the show. The show is cursed now. Settle down, Jazz. What's a good start for my bankroll? For me, it should be $10. Fuck, I shouldn't be allowed any bankroll. It's all relative, dude. But I would say, listen, if you're opening up an account, I'd say, drop $250 in, get the 300% bonus, get $500 to start with, All right, Tim, I'm going to send you the link. We'll take a quick break. Yeah, it's going to be 24-23. Listen, every fucking Patriots Super Bowl is close. All right? Every Super Bowl is close. We went through it a bit last night on the betcast. It was 20-17 in the first one against the Rams. It was 32-29 in the second one against the Panthers. It was 24-21 in the third one against the Eagles. It was 17-14 and 21-17 against the Giants. I don't remember the fucking score in the Seahawks game. What was it, 34-31? No, sorry, 34-30? Whatever the fuck it was. And then last year, it was 34-28 in overtime. It's ironic. The Patriots' biggest Super Bowl margin victory, and they played in 7 Super Bowls, guys, with Brady. So we have a big body of work to work with here. They've never won a Super Bowl by more than 6 points. And that was last year in overtime when they were getting killed all the time. The game that they won by 4, they should have fucking lost. That fucking Pete Carroll and Darren Bevel aren't fucking stupid. Other than that, they've never won by big margin. That's why I'm saying Patriots 1-6. Would you lay minus 220 on a Patriots money line as opposed to 1-6 at plus 300? Favorite sports book. I play it. You wager 5 the most. We have the odds for the winning margins. Well, we got all. We're going to take a quick break. Tim Anderson's going to step up and in, and we're going to talk a little Super Bowl with Tim. And we'll run through, I'll show you some of the odds that we have so far. Winning margins. We got some Super Bowl numbers up here. High scoring, good pace. We told you second half over in the Clippers. They're tied at 15 right now. The new total is 232.5. It was 226.5. So I need the fucking Clippers though, guys. Like, really, like, my will is going to be broken here soon. Like, I need the fucking Clippers here. Oh, fuck. All right, now I'm just a little behind on the stream. There's Griffin for 3. Blake, I don't like you shooting all these threes, bro. All right, Tim Anderson joins us in a minute. Tim, check your Twitter DM in like 2 minutes. Quick break. We'll be back with Tim Anderson and some Super Bowl prop talk.
Turner, Willie Reed.
Traveling.
Job by Willie, just kind of pulled the chair, and there was no place for Gibson to go, so he took too many steps. Substitution. Williams comes in. Teodosic takes the
Mike Tomlin's coaching a Pro Bowl. Give me the other side.
So the Clippers will go to work. Griffin, 21 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. We keep you posted on that triple-double watch. Lou Williams. Blake, a beautiful little bounce pass inside in the paint to Willie Reed. 2-point game, gang.
It's the ball movement that's doing it, Ralph. It's not one guy coming down saying, I'm going to do it on my own. When you get bodies moving and the ball movement, it creates opportunities on the offensive end.
Gibson. It's such a solid player. 78-74. Wes Johnson comes up short. Teague through the paint, draws a foul. He'll go to the free throw line. Blake Griffin picking up his 9th assist on this one.
And I like this little touch pass. This big to big pass. Man, it is available there. Look at Willie getting up there. I don't think that's just the angle there, Ralph. I think he was above the rim.
It was really up there. That free throw spins off the orange iron by Jeff Teague. Marcus Georges Hunt will come in. Yelich will go out. Teague gets 1 out of 2. The lead's at 5. And Ty Wallace brings it ahead. Working at the point against Teague. Sweet Lou. Bingo! Lou Williams, second 3 of the night, but need some more of those from him. The 2-point game.
And you know what? Recognize what the defender's doing. Lou recognized the defender trying to shoot the gap, but he just steps back with a nice, easy 3-point shot.
Wiggins. Line drive miss. Rebound taken by Lou. Clippers can tie or go ahead. Wes Johnson. Boy, the pass was right there. Hit Willie a tough spot, right in his hands.
I think it was a little hot, though, Ralph. As I said here, you know, the player tries to shoot the gap, trying to shortcut the play. You better be aware of what can transpire in those situations. You never want to leave a 3-point shooter that much space like that.
Towns still without a field goal. Still without a field goal. Still without a field goal. Foul before the shot. Griffin will draw the personal foul, his second of the ball game. Be a non-shooting foul, a throwback. 2 points. Timberwolves lead. They won the first 2 games against the Clippers this year. They've won 4 in a row overall. Need one more time this year in Minneapolis. Poked away. Clippers chase it down. Have numbers. Blake Griffin head down. Go to the goal. Lay it in. Tie game. 79-79. Clippers were down 69-59, if you'll recall. Here comes Jeff Teague. Teague has it in the near sideline against Wallace. Wes Johnson backs up on Wiggins. Steps back for 3 more. Willie Reed goes to get it. Clippers a chance to take a 2-point lead for the first time tonight. They got it. They've led a number of times by 1. Finally now by 2. Timeout will be taken by the Timberwolves. Clippers on top, 81-79. Lou Williams finding a way to get it done.
Saturday night, right here at Staples Center, Saturday, February 17th. You can do so by entering to win. Visit clippers.com/allstar before January 31st.
Well, it's Italian Heritage Night, and so I felt like it was only appropriate to have a pie out here. It is time for the pizza toss. Now, I got...
Italian Heritage Night.
Boyardee, I like it though. I see you. All right, now we got 4 contestants. They got mushrooms, green peppers, black olives, and another topping. Yeah, whoever gets the most on in 30 seconds is the winner. All right, Chuck, you ready to stir it up? What about you, Clipper Nation? You ready to do it? All right, 30 seconds up on the clock. 3, 2, 1, toss it. Okay, all right, you got to get it closer. Okay, all right, we got some shrooms, some green peppers. All right, what? Wow. Okay, mushrooms. All right, green peppers. Getting it done.
Green peppers getting it done.
Down.
This is fucked.
3, 2, 1. Time is up. All right, what I got over here? 6 for Shalisa. Green peppers. What I got over here? 5.
I'm trying to stop the volume. I can't.
Okay. 4.
Make it stop.
Okay, that was a good try, Matt. What else I got?
She's got a nice ass, though.
2. I know you threw with everything you had.
Fuck.
Shalisa, you are the winner.
Oh, God. I had to turn the stream off. I couldn't, the volume, the ad blocker and shit, whatever. I'm going to have to open the stream up again. Holy fuck. Yeah, wait to have fucking Italian Heritage Night and crack a Chef Boyardee joke. Fuck. Like, really? Really? Though, the one man, there's only one guy that I would know that would have a fucking take on Chef Boyardee, though. And that is Tim Anderson. I don't like the sounds of that, Ace Farmer. Somebody gave you a message to give to me. Yeah, exactly, Bruce. Tim Anderson in the house. That was quick. We called for the fucking the bat signal, and you answered right away. You're Batman.
I mean, I like to think so. I'm the hero that Sports Rage needs, not the one they deserve.
Exactly. Well, that's a good way to put it. Are you a Batman or a Superman fan? What's your take on superheroes?
I'm a Batman fan. I have taste.
Batman, Superman fucking might be the worst movie ever made.
Oh, I don't know. Did you see Justice League? That movie was terrible.
Yeah, I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, class, no one did. So
drinking water from a wine glass, pretty classy.
It's real class. Yeah,
it's for the distinguished sports fan, Tim. Nothing but class here on Sports Rage.
That's right.
Nothing classier than a fucking 4-liter bottle of PC fucking spring water here, Tim.
Listen, I've long called your show the Lawrence Welk of sports talk. I mean, there's nothing classy about drinking your water from a wine glass.
So they just had Italian Heritage. It's Italian Heritage Night tonight at the Clipper game. So they figured what better way to celebrate Italian Heritage Night by having a bunch of fans throw fucking green peppers around the court.
My recommendation would have been to give them a couple of slices of Sparrow. That's like the most authentic Italian pizza you can get. And so that's what I would have recommended.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. So what's your take on Chef Boyardee? You crush a can of Chef Boyardee every now and then?
Chef Boyardee is excellent Italian food, and I will not hear otherwise.
Excellent Italian food.
That man fed and kept people alive during the Depression with cheap, affordable Italian cuisine. That man is an American hero and success story.
Yeah, he really, that's a true story too, isn't it? That Chef Boyardee used to feed the poor too.
Yeah, his creation has well outlived him, and I think it's excellent. And I think it's every bit as good as some Italian you get at some upscale fancy restaurant where you'd pay 5 times the price.
I prefer craft dinner to Chef Boyardee personally.
Well, that's a matter of aesthetic taste. I
don't like the sauce with Chef Boyardee. I don't mind the stuff. I don't know the sauce. It tastes too much like a can.
Well, I mean, that's because it isn't a can. Not that I think that's a bad thing. I mean, I don't think that's a pejorative term that it comes from a can.
I like this. Drew saying you're the Italian expert without ever actually being Italy, right?
Well, but so what? I mean, I've said before, I don't believe in the tyranny of experience. Oh, well, I've never been to, Los Angeles, let's say, so I can't have any opinion on Los Angeles sports teams, or I can't have opinion
on movies. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I've never been to Hollywood, so I guess I don't have any thoughts on the Golden Globes or something.
I can't let the Sbarro crack go through without any. And the fact that Sbarro is the worst fucking pizza in North America. It really is. And you know what they say? They say pizza's like sex. There's no bad pizza. Some's just better than others. They say that about weed, too. I saw a weed poster the other day, but it works for pizza. So Willie Nelson actually said that about pot. He said pot's like sex, but some is better than others. Sbarro, literally, Tim, really is the worst possible fucking pizza, like anywhere. Like honestly, frozen pizza sucks, but frozen pizza is better than Sbarro even.
No, Sbarro's excellent. Their double stuffed sausage pizza is amazing. I've said before, you can walk the streets of Florence, you won't get a better piece of pizza than that. I really enjoy
this about Sbarro. The spaghetti doesn't suck.
The spaghetti is really good.
The spaghetti doesn't suck. The pizza's bad though.
They call themselves an Italian eatery for a reason. They serve good quality Italian food, and I will not be dissuaded otherwise.
You know what? You just, someone actually that likes junk more than me even. like you have a lower bar than I do even.
I like to think of myself as a tribune of the people, and that requires enjoying the things that people like and going to the things that people go to.
Yeah, I saw your gelato take the other day as well, and you feel mall gelato is fine.
I think it's more than fine. I think it's exceptional.
I will admit, I do like food court Chinese food. Tiki Ming, you down with Tiki Ming?
I prefer Manchu Wok to Tiki Ming. I can understand both. I've had both. I've certainly had more Manchu Wok in my life. It's just there are certain things Manchu Wok that their egg rolls are better. Their wontons are fantastic. They make these chicken balls that are really great. Their red sauce is similar. Like I really like the calamari or the squid that Tiki Ming does at times. That's pretty good. But overall, I mean, I like them both. Listen, some of the best food you will find in the world is found in a mall food court. I've been long convinced of that. And so some of the best Chinese is going to be.
Yeah, you were stranded in a food court and, but there was cooks there handling everything. You just being like, you must love airports then.
Oh, airports are like mini malls, except for the frustration of like delays. But yes, I don't hate airports. I mean, the fact that Radio Row is going to be at the Mall of America in the food court at Mall of America it's quite unbelievable.
Okay, so yeah, people were talking about you going to the Mall of America. You're not going to the Super Bowl, are you?
To Radio Row, not to the actual game.
So you're actually going to Radio Row for real?
Yeah.
Oh, I was unaware. I thought people were just busting my balls. Really?
No, that's happening next week.
What are you going to Radio Row for?
With DraftKings.
Oh, so you're gonna go a Mayo and crack jokes down there.
Essentially.
And it's at the Mall of America, is it?
Yeah, which in the food court at the Mall of America, which other people think that's bad. You couldn't pick a better spot for me.
Yeah, you're in heaven. Yeah. I just tell you,
the first Super Bowl I've ever. The thing is, this is the first Super Bowl I ever get to cover, and of all the cities the Super Bowl could be in, this is the coldest and least pleasant weather-wise, and the Patriots are in it, so it's already got a double whammy against it. But it's going to be great.
Yeah, I don't think the weather will be that bad, though.
It's going to be, well, it's not New Orleans or Los Angeles or Miami,
Oh, no. Actually, it is pretty bad. There's a winter storm warning right now going on there. Yeah, it is. No, it's not that bad. A winter storm warning. It's -3. Fuck.
Oh, yeah. It's not like going to Alaska, but, it's not Miami.
That's all you need to know, though, about the site of the Super Bowl. And yeah, we'll bring Big Man on if he wants to come and yell at Tim about the pizza. But that's all you need to know about, like, the Super Bowl setup. The media row is at the fucking mall. It's like we get it. You have a mall. Like, is this it? It's like the Super Bowl after party at the mall. Like, it's like a mall. So I guess the mall's the place to be.
Malls are very underrated. I mean, I think there's a lot of malls are a place for common people to go and engage in commerce and find meals and find affordable things.
Now, listen, I get the excitement for you, too. I'd be fired up, Fuzzy. You never been to, Media Row and the Super Bowl.
It's all new to me.
As I'm old and jaded, like, I'd be old and jaded. I'd be like fucking sitting in a mall with like fucking 3,000 FBI agents and fucking NFL security. It's like, I'd be like, I got to step in a parking lot to blaze a spliff. I'm going to get taken out by Secret Service. I literally and figuratively, man, I was in Houston. I remember I was smoking a spliff like right outside a convention center. And I didn't even care anymore. I was like, whatever, fuck. And I remember like this security guy came up to me. Oh, I don't have a problem. He goes, this is kind of funny, but he goes, I just want you to go. He goes, just look up. I look up. It's like fucking snipers just staring at me. Fuck, I'm fucking standing there blazing up, looking around. I'm thinking, whatever, man. If the fucking FBI wants to come get me here for a fucking spliff, let them come get me outside here. But it's such a police state, Tim. But you won't have a problem with that.
No, that won't be an issue. And listen, because it's a brand new experience to me, I'll just be sort of in a whirl of excitement. Plus, I'm at one of the world's great malls and in a food court at the mall. I mean, it's just going to be great.
Yeah, no, it'll be cool. You guys will the spectacle.
That's what I've been told.
It's quite. Yeah, it's quite the spectacle. Everyone's there basically. You'll see every former player. So who's who? You'll see like D-list celebrities and fucking. It's an event. There, without a doubt, it's an event. We're going to be, I'm impressed. Media Row's not bad. Are you going to the game too?
No,
or
I'm
you just
leaving before the game. I'm going to cover it the week of, but I'm leaving before the game. Which, you know what, isn't the worst thing. I think in a lot of ways, I'd be happier watching the game at home with friends anyway.
No. The thing is, to be honest with you, most people on Media Row actually leave Tim after.
I can see that.
Like even the big, I remember like, we did Houston. It was our first one too. It was fucking nuts. They put us next to the Jim Rome show. So on one side of me was Kornheiser and fucking Wilbon. On the other side was Jim Rome. I don't know why I got put in the elite fucking like part of the room type shit. So it was funny though. It was great for us, Tim. I stole all their guests. Like every time like Jim Rome would have a guest on right after, we'd be like, hey, can you come on the show? We'd be like, yeah, sure. It got to the point where Travis, Jim Rome's producer, would tell us, he'd be like, hey guys, we got Bob McNair, Peter King coming on. And he was really nice. He was like, instead of being a dick and like, hey, hey, you stupid kid, stop fucking piggybacking the Jim Rome show. He actually told us, he was like, yeah, we got these guys coming up. And he's like, Peter King's really nice. Just ask him and he'll come on. So like, and Travis got to the point where, I don't know if Travis still produces Rome's show, but he would tell us, this guy's cool. And he'd say, I remember Bob McNair was there and he was like, he said, McNair's kind of a dick. He goes, don't ask him. So it was a fun time. Then I got kicked out actually, Tim.
Was that the Detroit Super Bowl?
No, the Detroit was when I was, the ban was lifted.
Oh, okay.
That's when I was allowed to return. Yeah, I got banned. I got fucking physically removed, Tim. Like security physically, like literally picked me up and removed me from the George Bush Convention Center in Houston. That was my first Media Row experience. I got fucking evicted. I got ejected. The best part was like, literally, like I was like, all the equipment and they didn't care. Like they literally picked me up and they didn't throw me on the ground. And they literally like carried me out. It was like 6 security guys, 6 goons. Fuck. That was quite the brouhaha.
Did you stay for the game?
Yeah, but I was persona non grata, right?
Of course.
I had a Super Bowl ticket still. Yeah, I had a Super Bowl pass still. But the thing, it was kind of complicated. Like, I
can imagine.
Yeah, it was kind of complicated. And the funniest thing was, too, and this is a true story. I'm not going to go through the whole detail. We'll be here all night. But I was with Team Canada, okay?
Okay.
So Danny Machocha was the coach, and I'm the honorary president of the Quebec Junior Football League. I'm doing play-by-play for Team Canada at the World Global Junior Championships, which is at the Super Bowl venue and shit. So it was kind of bad, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't the best thing. I'm not representing, it wasn't the most professional thing I ever did, right? But that's the legend of sports rage. I was younger in my career, whatever. So I got kicked out. I got kicked out of Media Row. And so I had to make some calls and shit. So it was fucking nuts, Tim. So I get removed. I literally get removed like in the middle of it was like probably about 2 in the afternoon or so. All right. I get kicked out of the media center by the NFL. So I crossed the street. I'm like, holy fuck. I needed like a minute to like, and it was kind of cold, fuck. So across the street was another hotel. And I went in, and Dan Patrick was doing the show with Rob Dibble.
Okay.
And I'm standing there in the lobby of the hotel. They're doing the show in the lobby and shit. And there's a bunch of people there. I'm minding my own business. I'm standing there. I got a tap on the shoulder. It's the NFL fight. And they're like, you can't be here either. And I'm like, what, am I banned from the city? And they're like, pretty much, yeah, you're banned from any Super Bowl venue or event. I'm like, this isn't a Super Bowl venue. It's a hotel. And they're like, listen, you got to go, fuck. Fucking Mike Golin's giving me dirty looks as I'm getting. So I got kicked out of the hotel after, too. So it never ended. It was like, holy shit, this is pretty tough. So they're all over me everywhere I went in Houston. And so I had to make some calls, fuck. So I had to call like my connection and say, listen, I got kicked out. And, you know, you're a bigwig. I need you to help me out on this if you can. So it was Earl de la Perrelle. And I swear to God, Tim, Earl de la Perrelle is a really respected guy. Right? He's a football coach and a community leader, head of Sun Youth in Montreal. And he's literally sent like 300-400 kids to the NCAAs. And he's well respected in the football world. And he was like the president of Team Canada. So, you know, he's a heavy. So he actually called Paul Tagliabue. Okay. All right. On a cell phone. Like he's that big that he said, all right. He goes, you fucking idiot. He kind of scolded me like a grandfather would, sort of. He scolded me, you fucking idiot. He went off and shit. And he's like, all right, I'll fix this though. So he calls fucking Paul Tagliabue, the commissioner of the NFL at the time. The commissioner, Tim, to get me back in, okay? So the commissioner's like, all right, you know, we're going to do this for you, Earl. You know, and okay, he's good. He's going to be allowed in tomorrow. Nothing ever happened. Just tell him to watch his mouth. And, you know, it was one of these deals and shit. Paul Tagliabue gets me in. I go back the next day. I can't get in and shit. Earl tells me, listen, we got a problem, fuck. They said that Paul Tagliabue said that even he can't get you back in. Paul Tagliabue's exact words were, Earl, I would do it for anybody but him. Yeah, Paul Tagliabue fucking kept me out. It was a real brouhaha. So it took 2 years, and I was at the Super Bowl in Detroit, and NFL guy came up to me and actually shook my hand. And he said, all right, he said, I think what's in the past is in the past. And he goes, you're welcome. He goes, you're welcome at all Super Bowls, and you're welcome at all Super Bowl events in the future. What's in the past is in the past. The guy pats me on the back and shit. It was NFL International. Okay. So, because we're in Canada, right? So I was NFL International. So it was this British guy. So he's like, he goes, oh, you're welcome back, Gabriel. I just want to say that the NFL is, you're good with the NFL now. What's in the past is in the past. And so I swear to God, like 10 minutes later, this is at the Pontiac Silverdome, okay? I did the last ever game in the Pontiac Silverdome, actually. So it's the Pontiac Silverdome. And this is before the game starts. And the guy comes up to me. He's like, you're in. And I'm not going to lie. I had a few drinks at this point, Tim, already. All right. Once again, not the most professional thing, but being the fucking analyst, had a few drinks, fuck. All right. So I'm kind of buzzed and shit. And they're demolishing Pontiac. They're in the Silverdome. They're closing it and shit. So I'm in the fucking, the PA announcer's booth, okay? The mic still worked, Tim. Oh, no. So I fucking get on the PA at the Silverdome, and I'm like, yo, hey. And I'm all like, what the fuck is up, Detroit? Oh, no. I start talking shit into the PA system of the fucking Silverdome. And it's fucking echoing everywhere and shit. It's loud as fuck. And I'm all like, D motherfucking Troy, hey. And we're all laughing and shit. Fucking Earl de la Perrelle, the old guy that got me fucking off the hook and shit. He comes in. He's like, you really are the stupidest person I've ever met. So I'm like, goes 10 minutes ago, the NFL just tells you you're all right. And then what do? You go into the fucking PA booth and you start poking with shit. You're not even supposed to be in there. It's like, don't come in. Like, he's yelling. He's like, you really are just stupid, aren't you? He's like, I'm not, I'm done. I'm done with you. Fucking. And I'm standing there with his son, David DeLaPrelle, who actually was a Kentucky Wildcat offensive lineman for Tim Couch. And Dave's like 6'7", 340 pounds, so he's a giant. And Earl's his father, though. So Earl's yelling at the kid, too. And he's like, you're a fucking idiot, too. He's like, look at you. You guys are still drunk from last night. He didn't know, like, we had fucking beers under the table and shit. He's like, you're still drunk from last night. You're fucking around up here. Oh, it was fucking gold, man. So after fucking I come out, I see the same British guy from the NFL. He just looks at me, and he goes, you really are a firecracker, aren't you, Morency? I was like, thumbs up. They were all laughing and shit. It was funny shit. Yeah, we did it was at the Silverdome, the last game I could go on and tell you some great stories about this guy. He was the guy, told the story last week, Tim. I used to do a lot of football banquets. So Tim, I'm a big Michigan fan. So Tim Piakabakutu was fucking one of the fucking speakers at a banquet. I was fucking stoked, right? I'm like, man, I'm the fucking president, honorary president of the league. Fucking Michigan running back, Carolina Panther. I'm fucking stoked. I'm like, man, I'm going to fucking get drunk with the guy and get all kinds of pictures and shit. And this guy, Earl, knew me well enough, Tim. He put me at a table with Larry Smith, Wally Buono, and Vince Lombardi Jr.
Sounds like a real party.
Yeah, exactly. So I said, and I'm looking behind, and I see at Piakabakutu's table, they're drinking champagne and wine. And there's fucking like hot fucking chicks there with big tits hanging around with them. And I'm all jealous. Oh, man, I'm just looking back, and I'm stuck at this table. And I said to Earl DeLaPrelle after, I'm like, Earl, I said, he goes, how was the table with Vince and Larry and Wally? I said, I really fit in at that table, coach. Yeah, that was great. But I said, Wally Bono was giving me death stares all night. Larry Smith hates me, and Vince Lombardi Jr., well, Vince Lombardi Jr. looks like Vince. He's got the crew cut, he had the shirt on, and like it was like the Twilight Zone fight. I said, that was a real fun fucking party. And he goes, exactly. He goes, I've had enough of you making scenes at these events. He goes, if I put you with Piakabakutu, fucking, you can be an international incident, fuck. He goes, you probably fail a drug test because of you, fuck, in the NFL. Starts going. He goes, you think, he's really funny. He's like, you think I was going to put you at a table with him? He goes, what are you, fucking, yeah. He's like, that's it. He goes, I put you with Wally Bono for a reason, fuck, to keep an eye on you. I'm sitting there drinking wine. Wally's just staring at me. I'm like, so, coach, how the stamp's going to look this year? He's going to fucking... Larry Smith was the president of the Alouettes at the time, and you must love Larry Smith. He's a big conservative leader, right, at the time.
Senator, too.
He's a fucking, conservative senator. So Larry Smith, I'm fucking eating. Larry Smith, like, just goes, Gabe, I need to correct you on a couple of things you've been saying on your show about our expansion and government funds. So I got Buono staring at me, Larry Smith chewing me out because I ripped the fucking government fucking expansion of the stadium. And I got along best with Vince Lombardi Jr. thing. I was like, so, tell me about it, And like, he was telling me old Packer stories and shit, and when he was a kid, and blah, blah, blah. Yes, it was some funny-ass shit.
Interesting.
Yeah. I got some funny football stories, but nevertheless. So Super Bowl excitement level. You got to be stoked. You go to Media Row.
Yeah.
What do you think about the game itself? So you say, what did you say, 23-17 Eagles?
Yeah. I thought about it for a while, but it didn't take me long as I started putting my sort of analysis together. And I said this on Twitter, that were I to construct a team in a laboratory to take on this Patriots team, it wouldn't look very different than the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, I would make an upgrade at quarterback, although Foles had the best game of a quarterback in the playoffs for many, many years. Like what Foles did on last evening was exceptional. The defense of Philadelphia is smothering and strangling, better than Jacksonville. And New England struggled for 3.5 quarters against an inferior defense in the Jags. They're about to play a significantly better defense in Philadelphia, and they won't be playing in Foxborough. They'll be playing indoors on a neutral field. I think the Patriots will have significant issue moving the ball against that Eagles defense that just doesn't allow big chunk plays. They seem to have figured it out a little bit. They went through a swoon there in December, and they sort of caught fire again. The Patriots, someone tweeted this today, and I mentioned it. Blaine Gabbert in the month of December beat Tennessee and Jacksonville. That's the same accomplishment Tom Brady has in these playoffs. Blaine Gabbert's not going to a Super Bowl. I think the Patriots team's a very good team. I think that if Philadelphia can take away the running backs, both the rushing and the short passes out of the backfield, and compel Brady to throw the ball 50 times, the Eagles will win the game. The more times Brady has to throw in this game, the worse it will be for the Patriots. I think that it's a tough nip and tuck game. I think Ajayi can get running on them. We saw Fournette yesterday when they actually committed to the run and didn't just run right up the middle for no reason. We saw that he was able to get chunk plays. Ajayi should get chunk plays as well. Blunt, in sort of a revenge factor, I would be betting on Blunt to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. They get on the goal line. They're going to give him the ball to score against his former team in the big game. I just think Philly matches up so well. As long as Foles doesn't lay an egg, I think the Eagles are going to win the game.
You raise a lot of good points. Solid breakdown. You're right, though. This is a close game. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles are a good football team. They're a complete football team. Malinsky brought it up earlier. They can beat you in different ways, right? They can throw the football. They've got talent at every position. They've got good wide receivers. They've got good running backs. They've got a good offensive line. They're on defense, whatever. We know how good not good, how great their defense is. They're the better defense coming into the football game. And one thing we've seen too, Tim, with Tom Brady, he hasn't played well in first halves of Super Bowls.
No, not at all.
The reason they were losing 28-3 last year, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Tom Brady struggled. He was inaccurate. He was missing guys. They were rattling him. They were getting in his face. He looked old. He wasn't playing well. And then he digs down deep. It's like he gets a shot of fucking, 8-year-old kid blood or something. And it's like, he comes out. And I guarantee you, we're going to find out that Brady's been cheating and shit. It was some state-of-the-art stuff that they don't even test for.
Shocking.
Yeah, exactly. But, it's going to be a close game. I went through them all, Tim. 2017 first Super Bowl, the one they beat the Rams in. 14-point underdogs. They won 20-17. We should note that they knew the script. We talked about it. They knew the script of the Eagles in the first of the Rams in the first half. They beat the Panthers, the Houston, where I got kicked out of. It was Nipplegate game.
Yeah, because John Casey kicked it out of bounds, and John Fox went for 2-point conversions, two 2-point conversions they didn't need to. Exactly, and they ended up losing by 3, 32-29. Yeah, the Eagles game was a 3-point game, and actually the Patriots were better than a field goal in that game.
24-21. Yeah, you know what? That game, you're right. That game didn't feel as close as the score looked. You're right.
No, it was 14-14 in the fourth quarter, but New England got up 24-14, and Philly scored a late touchdown with 1:50 left. So, that was a big of a spread. And, of course, both Giants games were nip and tuck. The Seahawks game, they lose the Super Bowl if they run the ball at the goal line.
And Atlanta doesn't. That was their largest margin of victory at the time in the Super Bowl, 4.
Exactly.
And then last year, their largest margin of victory, 6.
Of course, they covered the number.
Yeah, in overtime. So now we have a number of 5. They've only won the Super Bowl once out of 7 times by more than 5 points. It's hard not to like a teaser in this spot, guys, with the Philadelphia Eagles teased up to +12. And then I think to the over. I see where you're going with this, though. Listen, the total's 48, so you're leading with the under. Points, I don't think it's going to be a track meet either. And Super Bowls generally start off slow. We talked about it with Brady last night. What did we say? It was, I think it was 6 out of 7 more points in the second half than the first half. I'm thinking first half, Eagles could really hang around in this game. +3. I can't bet an under ever again, but that wouldn't shock me if it went under 24 in the first half. But I like your ballpark figure, actually. I think a little higher, I don't want to repeat yesterday's score, but I threw out a score earlier, 24-23 Patriots. That wouldn't shock me. 24-23.
Yeah, Philly would have the game won, and then Foles would throw a pick 6 to crush my dreams and my hopes, and the Patriots would win. And then I would get blamed for it. You can see it now.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said earlier. Yeah, no, exactly. You pick the Eagles. The Eagles will be right there. They're going to lose in heartbreaking fashion, and people will say, oh, the curse, the curse.
It's just this is also another game where when you get the number one offense in the Super Bowl, they don't win. The last year, the Falcons, number one offensive football, didn't win. Year before, Carolina. Exactly. Year before, Carolina didn't win. A couple years before that, Denver against Seattle didn't win. The Raiders against the Buccaneers didn't win. Patriots against the Giants didn't win. Year after year, the lesson must be learned that the number one offense up against a top-tier defense never prevails in the Super Bowl.
It's a good point. It's a good point. We threw out a couple of so Gronkowski, he's going to play. I mean,
sure. Now, who knows how long?
Yeah, exactly. And if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, I mean, Gronkowski's out there. It's worth a 15-yard penalty. Just fucking hit him in the head again. It is. You're not trying to injure players, but at the same point in time, it is what it is. Fuck. I mean,
I actually think New England will not use him much in the first half. They'll be saving him for the late in the second half. If they need him, they need a drive to win or a drive to tie. There will be very little Gronk usage, I think, until late in the game when they've got to play that card. He's their trump card. I think they need to hold him. He's the race on the hole.
Let's take a look at some of these numbers here.
The other one I love is a James White touchdown, too. That man scores touchdowns all the time for the Patriots in the playoffs. People are crazy. They think, oh, no, you want Lewis for the touchdown. Oh, no, you
James
really
White's
want
a touchdown machine, yeah.
James White, I can promise you, James White will not be the shortest odds of a Patriot to score a touchdown, and he is the bet.
We have odds. Like I said, the odds are coming out earlier than ever. Oh, I got to boot someone out from the chat again. I don't know if Joel Sampson's a big fan of the show or if there's a curveball coming here. Yeah, I'm surprised. You know what, Tim? Normally the odds don't come out this soon with the props, but they ain't fucking around. So James White to score a touchdown, plus 187.
Love it.
Plus 187. To score the first touchdown of the game, 12-1.
Bet them both, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard not to take a look at that. 12-1, first touchdown of the game, James White.
Definitely.
He's actually scored the first touchdown, I believe, for the last two. No, the Titans fucking scored the first touchdown.
Correct.
He scored the first touchdown for the Pats, though.
Yes.
In 2 games in a row. So these are the numbers for the touchdown scores. Rob Gronkowski, minus 120.
Don't like that at all. I don't think he scored.
No value there, no. Like you said, I don't even think he'll get through the fucking game.
Maybe not.
Brandon Cooks, plus 110.
Don't like that either.
No. Dion Lewis, plus 120.
I don't love it.
No, not enough value.
Like I told you, that White would not be the shortest odds running back to score for the Patriots. People are crazy.
Jay Ajayi, plus 150.
Yeah, I don't love that.
He's been a nice contributor, but it's not like he racks up touchdowns.
Yeah, he doesn't score. Blunt would be the guy I would be betting there.
Exactly. All right, we'll get to we'll skip to Blunt's down the list here. Blunt's plus 225.
Love him.
Yeah, man. His former team, the Patriots give up 4.7 yards a clip. We saw them struggle stopping a big back in Fournette yesterday, and Blunt's gonna fucking he's gonna run hard, man.
Oh, definitely.
He's gonna run hard against the Pats. All right. Yeah, it was the same guy. Hey, this guy really is fucking deranged. It's crazy. we got crazy people in the chat, Tim. All right. So the ones I like so far, yeah, I can live with it. We skipped over guys. So Jay Ajayi, no.
Nah.
Zach Ertz, plus 162.
That's not a terrible one. I would think he's the likely.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that one.
I don't mind that.
Alshon Jeffrey, plus 175.
No, the Patriots going to take. See, I wonder what the Patriots' game plan is, because you saw on Sunday that if the Vikings did try to take Ajayi away, Foles tore him up. Like, what will Belichick?
That's the thing, Tim, that makes the Eagles good. That Belichick's a master of, all right, we're going to take that strength away from you.
Yeah,
and
compel you to play left-handed.
The Eagles' play calling is not predictable.
No, it isn't.
You know what I mean? They can run. You want to go speed-based? We'll go with a Jai. You want to try to pop a big one? We'll go with a Jai. Let's play Smash Mouth and try to eat 4 or 5 minutes and smash it down their throat. And it's worked 2 weeks in a row against the Vikings and the Falcons with Blunt. They can go with Blunt. You know what I mean? Are you guys going to stack the box and make Nick Foles beat you? All right. Then we'll take our chance and fucking hit Zach Ertz over the middle. I mean, they're going to have to be careful with Foles not to get picked off and not to fuck with Butler and Gilmore too much. But I think the middle of the field will be there for Zach Ertz. To me, the success, like you said, how are they going to attack this? I personally believe if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, you attack this by playing smash mouth football. You run the ball. Look, the Titans had success doing it. The Jags had success doing it. Both those teams are young. The Eagles have veterans. That's the thing with the Eagles too. They're not a young team. Alshon Jeffrey's been around, man. Long's been around. Blunt's been around. Ajayi, third year, fourth year. Nick Foles is 30 years old. They're not kids, these guys. So I don't think they're going to wilt under pressure. But you don't want to get into a track meet, obviously, with Brady.
No.
Smash mouth, you mix it up. Ajayi, Blunt, Ajayi, dink, dunk, pass, Blunt, Ertz, Blunt, Ajayi. You fucking keep Brady off the field as much as you can. And I'm not saying you go conservative, but you fucking play smash mouth football. And then defensively, I think they can get after Brady. My concern is Darby and Mills are going to have a hard time. But I say that every week, and the Eagles they overcome it. So, but it's going to be a problem. We're going to look at some props with the wide receivers over, and whoever's on Mills is going to go over the number. All right, we'll tell you that much. So Zach Ertz plus 162, Alshon Jeffrey plus 175, Amendola plus 187. I like your James White at plus 187, Rex Burkhead plus 187. Nelson Aguilar at plus 200 could be worth a look.
That's not terrible.
Yeah. If they score, like the Malinsky brought it up, they're going to try to take Jeffrey away. Aguilar is going to be in the slot. It's going to be a problem. LeGarrette Blunt. I like that one with Blunt. I like where, if I had to play two right now, Tim, I'd take James White plus 187 and Blunt plus 225.
That's so we're on the same page here. So you should either be afraid of that or be comfortable with that. I don't know, but.
All right. Now, you know what I'm intrigued with is here. And I like to take a stab on these ones. Nick Foles to score a touchdown, 12-1. QB sneak, you never know.
I guess, but I just don't see why that would be their play. I just think Patriots, yes, because Brady does it all the time. But if I'm Philly, I think I've got Blunt back there. That's kind of who I want to feed the ball to.
Yeah, I hear it. You know what, though? Nick Foles tried to score a touchdown against the fucking Falcons last week.
Yes, he did.
Because of a penalty, I think, or what happened. Yes. I think that's what it was, yeah. And then the next fucking play they scored. Tom Brady to score a touchdown, 12-1.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't think it's going to happen, but I don't hate it.
You got to think outside the box a little bit with somebody's in the Super Bowl, right? I mean,
for sure.
There's going to be one guy we don't expect to score. Is it Brandon Bolden? Fuck, you know what I mean? Someone weird will score. Could be someone on defense, right?
Or special teams. The Eagles have a very good special teams unit.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of special teams. Of course, the Clippers are now down 5 with 2 minutes left. Why wouldn't they be? What other props do we have popping up? A lot of them are popping up now. Wow.
Do MVP odds out yet?
No, and I'm anxiously awaiting for that.
Because were I to bet, and I'm not going to, but were I to pick the Patriots to win this game, don't be a fool. Don't bet the money line. Just bet Brady to be the MVP. It's the exact same bet, and you'll get better odds betting Brady to be MVP than you will Patriots money line.
We found some. All right. All right. Yeah, you're exactly right, Tim. And we talked about this. So, Tim, quarterbacks on the winning football team in the Super Bowl have been the MVP in 8 of the last 12 Super Bowls.
Yeah, but only 2.
It's 8-3.
Yeah, but only 2 of the last 4, if memory serves.
The Von Miller, because nothing happened in the game.
And Malcolm Smith.
Yeah, and exactly. But the only time defensive guys win is if it's really low scoring and they get intercepted.
And, as I've said before, Super Bowl 49, the fact that Malcolm Butler did not win MVP and Brady won is probably one of the least defensible MVP choices ever made in the history of the game.
So here, I can't argue with that. There's been some weird ones. So Tom Brady's minus 150 to win the MVP.
Sure.
So, and for the record, there's a little bit of line movement. It just moved to 5.5 everywhere. So a little bit of buyback on the patch. So look, the Patriots are minus 230 on the money line.
There you go. Bet Brady to win.
Brady MVP at minus 150. If they win, it's going to be
the same bet.
Nick Foles.
See, that I don't like.
Nick Foles is 6-1 plus 600.
Yeah. I think the Eagles are not. I think if the Eagles win, I don't think he'll be MVP. I really don't. I think they'll give it to, if Jeffrey has a big game, it'll be him. If Ajayi has a big game, it'll be him. If someone on the defense,
this will be outside the box. It'll pay pretty big. LeGarrette Blount. 2 fucking touchdowns for Blount.
that would be cool. I mean, I listen. I would be delighted.
No, I think if they win, it has to be Nick Foles.
Well, I guess it depends how you think they're going to win.
Because they split it up so much. It's not like, oh, they're going to give it to Ajayi 22 times and Ajayi's going to have 187 yards. They don't throw to one guy 7 times. This is what makes them tough to defend, right?
Yeah. No, that's fair.
I mean, if they listen, how many points are the Eagles going to have to score to win this game? 24, 27?
Well, I mean, I picked 23-17, so I guess I think 23.
Yeah. And I think that's a little low. I mean, really, are they really going to hold the Patriots to 17 points?
The Patriots were held to 10 points with 8 minutes left in the game yesterday against Jacksonville at home. So is it inconceivable? No, I don't think so. And I mean, Philadelphia just strangled the life out of Minnesota and Atlanta the last 2 weeks combined for 17 points. So yeah, I think it's possible. And they gave up 6 to Dallas the week before. So
all right, here's the bet that I like a lot. Highest scoring half. First half or second half?
Second half.
Yeah. Where the fuck is it? I just clicked highest scoring half, but it was which team? I don't want that. I want the fucking game. Total field goals. Interesting. Total field goals. 3.5 field goals, minus 120.
Yeah, I mean, that's not terrible. Not at all.
Long field goals should come in this. It's indoors.
I like Elliott a lot. I think he's exactly the type of kicker who you could depend on that.
Longest touchdown scored.
Is there a will one team score 3 consecutive times? Is that
oh yeah, they always have that one.
That is one of my favorite ones. Bet yes, it hits all the time.
I know. You figure it wouldn't. People always say, oh, it'll be a close game or won't hit, but it always hits that.
It always hits because close games can be someone gets up and then someone catches up.
I got fooled in my early days with that one a few times.
Yeah, no, that's a yes.
That one in college really hits too.
Yeah, sure does.
Like the wheels fall off of teams and the momentum. Yeah, it really catches up.
Or it could just be a touchdown, 2 field goals, 13-0. Boom, you've hit.
Looking for sacks. They don't have a sack prop up yet. Total sacks. All right, how about this? The safety scored. Wasn't there a safety scored in like 2 or 3 straight Super Bowls?
Yeah, there was a safety to end Super Bowl 48 and Super Bowl 47, and then a safety to conclude.
One of the games was a safety on the first fucking play of the game.
That's what I said. Yeah, the very last play of the Ravens 49ers was a safety, and then the next year, the very first play of Seahawks Broncos was a safety.
Yeah, and they got nailed on that one.
And the very first play of Giants Patriots, the game in Indianapolis, the first play of the game was a safety.
Seems like we have more safeties in the Super Bowl than the regular season, Tim.
It does seem like that, but still,
for the record, will there be a safety? Is yes, plus 750.
But see that those are terrible odds. I mean, how many safeties were scored in the NFL this year? Like 20, 30 altogether. Over a 256 game schedule. Like your odds are just it's a sucker bet. I think even if it comes in, the value's not there.
Well, remember I threw out there LeGarrette Blount 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
20-1.
That's not terrible. There are worse things to take a shot on than that.
So if you think, let's take a look at James White to score 2 touchdowns, dude.
I like that too.
16-1.
I like that actually quite a bit.
Yeah. So this is any player 2 touchdowns or more. So if you get 2, that's good, or more. Rob Gronkowski plus 500.
That's such a dumb bet. You might as well set your money on fire.
Brandon Cooks plus 700.
No.
Dion Lewis plus 800.
I don't think so.
Jay Ajayi plus 1,200.
That's high for a job. I mean, it could happen. The guy's amazing, but I wouldn't be betting it.
Zach Ertz plus 1,200.
Not the worst, but again,
Alshon Jeffrey 16-1.
Don't mind that, actually. I mean, if they go deep, what's Torrey Smith at? He's the sort of guy the Patriots could leave uncovered on a third stringer. Torrey Smith could wreak havoc on them.
50-1 to score 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. That's steep, but one I could see coming.
25-1 to score 1 touchdown.
I think I would take a bite at that.
LeGarrette Blount, man, I tell you, man, I swear, if they're on the inside the 5 a couple of times, LeGarrette Blount punches it in a few times. 20-1, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's their battering ram. Plus, it's against his former team. He's going to be motivated. You know, Doug Peterson knows that too.
James White, and 16-1. I mean, the guy's just a touchdown machine, James White.
He is. He absolutely is.
What else do we have here? All right. Highest scoring quarter.
Yeah, fourth quarter is the way to go with that usually.
First quarter's plus 550. Second quarter's plus 175.
Jeez.
Third quarter's plus 450. Fourth quarter's plus 210.
I mean, just for the value's sake, I would, if I were to bet that, I would take the first and fourth. You're going to give me plus 550. I mean, theoretically speaking, there's no reason why the first quarter should be that much different.
Agree with you. Just for the randomness of it, you're right. I mean, for the odds, you're exactly right. And generally, you know what? There's a lot of points in third quarters often.
Sure there can, because teams have made adjustments offensively and defensively.
They refresh, they come out. Maybe a team is down by 13 or 4. They're like, holy fuck, we got to come out and score right away. Let's go no huddle and, you know, pick up the pace. Interesting. I mean, Tim, there's just millions of fucking options, isn't there?
Well, I mean, I'm sure when you started betting Super Bowls, there were like 6 props you could bet, right? So, you know, you've seen the evolution of it. You've seen the evolution.
No, you know, I'm old enough. I remember they had props on the Bud Bowl, which was funny. What else is there? Will the game go to overtime? 8-1 plus 800.
Again, while I think that's in theory that's not a terrible bet, it is in this game because, again, how many NFL games go to overtime? You know, a lot fewer than 1 in 8. So.
Here's shitty odds. Well, the New England Patriots fucking shut out the Eagles 16-1. It's fucking pathetic odds.
That's dumb. That's dumb.
All right, what else do we have? Now this is
that should be like 40-1.
So the other MVP odds, though, we got the MVP. So Nick Foles 6-1, Gronkowski's 10-1, Dion Lewis is 16-1, Amendola's 14-1, James White 25-1. James White, guys, has 6 touchdowns in the Patriots' last 3 playoff games.
Yeah, I mean, totally. I mean,
playoff games this year and the Super Bowl combined last year. 6 fucking touchdowns.
I mean, and that's not a terrible bet because, like I said, I think if the Patriots win the game, it'll be because they can control the line of scrimmage and try to – the more passing Brady does against this defense, I think the worse it'll be for them. So if James White can get something going in the red zone and they can use him effectively – in the open field, I think he would actually be a very efficacious tool for them to win.
Alshon Jeffrey, 25-1, had 2 touchdowns yesterday.
Yeah, but if he scores 2 touchdowns, they'll just probably give it to Foles.
Yeah, I know.
Like running backs, I can justify more easily than receivers for MVP.
All right, what else do we have here?
Other defensive players, like someone like Fletcher Cox, wouldn't shock me in the least. If we're talking about a defensive, or maybe just the field. Maybe he's just
that's the thing. They put that in the other all the time. You have the winning margin. So if you like the Eagles to win by 1 to 6, it's plus 425.
Yeah, I mean, I would take that to a lesser degree.
We'll put it this way: if you like the Eagles to win the game,
which I do,
take them 1 to 6, 7 to 12. Are they going to blow out the Pats?
No, I can't imagine so.
You know, taking them at 1 to 6 plus 425 and then 7 to 12 plus 800 is not bad.
Exactly. And you know what? If it happens that they win by 13 or more, I'll be so happy about that fact that I won't even be concerned about having lost those 2 bets.
The Patriots 1 to 6 is plus 300.
Another great bet.
What's that?
Another great bet. If you like the Patriots to win, you bet the Brady. MVP, and you bet that as well. Those,
exactly.
Those will come in together if they come in.
Yeah, yeah, and you got to bet on the Pats then, obviously, but because you don't want to get pissed if they don't, if you don't get the cash much. For the record, I mean, look, 7-12 for the Patriots is plus 400. 13 to 18 point Patriot win is plus 550, which surprises me. The book is saying we're not going to pay you that much if the fucking Patriots blow them out.
Well, no, you pay a tax on that, right?
Yeah, that's a good way.
Because Sully from Worcester wants to bet, his life savings on something like that, and they don't want to get taken on it.
Another interesting. It's really bothering me. Someone at Bet365, you guys see where it is. Let me know where the first half, second half. I'm having a hard time finding.
Did you ever figure out what their deal was with if there are no field goals in the game, whether the over or under?
That's the
deal. Is that consistently the rule afterwards though too?
No, I don't know. They made it up, dude, that day. I've never heard that in my life. There were field goal attempts, Tim.
Yeah, there was. Vinatieri missed one.
I wouldn't even accept it if they said, "Wow, there was no field goal attempt." All right, fine. So what? It counts if guys fucking hit it and miss. So that's part of the bet. They didn't take a field goal that long. That was the bet, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But anyways, longest field goal scored, safety scored, time of first touchdown. Time of first score. Interesting. What do you
think?
I got to go before 7 minutes, Tim. Will there be a score?
I agree. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever if the Patriots went down the field with the first possession a la Minnesota and scored, and then didn't score again for quite a while.
Or a field goal,
Or a field goal, yeah. I mean,
7 minutes, So basically, that's before the score on or after 7 minutes have elapsed. So that's the 8 minute mark.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind taking that.
I would say that. It could be a quick field goal out of the gate. Main props under high scoring half. All right, thanks. Oh, you're right. Okay, I misread that one before. I misread it before. I thought it meant which team would score more in each half. All right, so there it is. High scoring half. So, yeah, you know what, Tim? It's the first half is actually favored over the second half, which I disagree with. And Brady's been in 7 Super Bowls, and 6 of them, Tim, 6 of them, there's been more points in the second half.
Yeah.
And the other one, it was a tie. Just off the top of our heads, you know what I mean? Look, last year struggled, right? First half.
Seahawks game was close and low scoring in the first half.
You go down the list of all their Super Bowl appearances. That Carolina game.
That was 3-0 at the half.
Yeah, you know what? I remember it being that game too. It was actually 14-10. It was 3-0 halfway near the end of the second quarter, and a couple of things happened, and it got bumped up to 14-10.
Okay.
But it still went from 14-10 all the way to 32-29.
That's it. Yeah, it had a crazy second half.
Yeah, it was fucking nuts in the fourth quarter. Crazy shit starting to happen. There's a lot of speed on the field, man, and the Patriots defense is ranked 30th as far as yards are concerned. I mean, the Eagles could have some success moving the football.
Just watched Blake Bortles eviscerate them through the air. I mean, you can say what you want about Nick Foles. He's better than Blake Bortles is, and he's got better weapons than Blake Bortles has. I mean, this is not hard. Yes, the Patriots should be favored. I think they hung a bad number. I think it should have been Patriots by 3.5 or 4. And I think the books are going to take a bunch of money on Philadelphia. They already have them, sure.
Yeah, no, now the money's starting to slide back in on New England.
Oh, yeah, well, now it is. But I bet you the money they got in the first 24 hours is not public money.
You're right. Okay, the sharp money did come in on the Eagles out of the gate. Yeah, no, it did. It did. Tim, you're in the Maritimes, so it's really late for you. You're 1 hour ahead, right?
Yeah, but that's all right. That is what it is.
Yeah, you're used to it. You live on the rest of the world. It's
exactly. I heard you're coming up to this neck of the woods eventually in the spring, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll do a road rage and a concert and stuff down there.
Nice.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see you down there.
I should be able to make it. Yeah.
That's the thing. When I lived on the West Coast, I used to wake up fucking early.
Sure.
because the rest of the world's 3 hours ahead of you. You know what I mean?
It's like when I travel. Like if I travel to Vancouver, I try to stay on East time. I never try to adjust to time zones when I go places when I don't have to. I try to stay on my normal time zone wherever I go. Maybe that's just me being idiosyncratic. I don't know, but that's the way I like to approach things. So like when it's 4 o'clock, it's 5 o'clock here, it's supper time.
What's Minneapolis? So Central time. Right?
So yeah, so for there it'll be 2 hour time difference for me. So I'll just keep, which is not that all that difficult.
Yeah, you'll be 2 hours back in time.
Yes.
It's weird, eh? The Maritimes, like you're one of the rare people that are ahead of time, and the Newfoundland's 90 minutes ahead, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's an extra half hour. Yeah.
How does that work with a half hour? Like, how do they come up with that?
Just because they are different and a special character, have a special character, and wanted to.
Like, is there anywhere else in the world that's on their time?
There's nowhere else in the world that's a half hour apart from every other time zone.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a very strange, idiosyncratic thing.
Yeah, no, there's weird things too with Indiana. Fucking does daylight savings times every 2 years.
That's weird. I remember we traveled to Phoenix last year. Phoenix just doesn't change.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, that's it. Indiana doesn't change either. That was it. Indiana doesn't change either. And that's the thing. It doesn't change, but it changes the time every year because of it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's confusing. I had a guest. I used to have a guest on that worked at the Indy newspaper. And we had him on all the time. And then once there was a mix-up with the time zone, and it was our fault. And he had to explain to us. We were like, what the fuck? What do you mean the time is there? He's like, oh, we don't move the clock. So he went on this big thing. I was like, oh, really? Yeah, you're right. Arizona and Indiana. Daylight savings time's a scam. Fuck.
Well, I think that's true. I would prefer to say I'm just regular standard time, but not coming anytime soon.
Tim, great stuff as always.
Much obliged. It's a pleasure. Go Eagles. This is the 2016 election Super Bowl, so we have to cheer for the Eagles.
23-17, Philadelphia Eagles, says Tim Anderson. You're locked in. You're not changing that, right?
I can't, short of an injury or something, that's what I'm rolling with.
All right. Great stuff, Tim. Thanks for the time.
Pleasure. Take care. All the best.
To Tim Anderson with his great stuff with Tim. Well, you heard it there. Eagles, you're cursed. Eagles are cursed. You're gonna lose a heartbreaker. Van Fop. Fucking, well, I told you the game would go over, the second half over, but of course on Proline I go fucking 2 or 3 on free tickets. Why not? Yeah, total going up. Yeah, you need to keep fading the Cavs. There's no reason to play on them. I mean, the Spurs are only -1.5. I'd also take a look at the over. They don't play defense. '25th anniversary of Monday Night Raw this evening. I didn't see it all. I saw some of it. Some of it was funny. Some of it was lame. The thing is, you notice when they're showing all these old guys all the time throughout the night, and it really just exposes how their new guys just kind of suck. You know, it's the 25th anniversary. I get it. You want to give a little love to Roman Reigns and The Miz and these guys, but for me, I'd just sort of go retro tonight. You know, tell these guys, step aside, guys. Tonight, fucking Stone Cold, The Rock, fucking. The Undertaker thing was pretty lame. Clearly, he can't get hit. So, you know, the Vince Stone Cold stuff was good, but it sort of went downhill after that. Nick Foles, plus 600. All right, we'll take our last break of the evening. We'll come back with some closing thoughts. Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, when the Undertaker came out and it was all light out too, it kind of, yeah, it was kind of bizarre. Did Guerrero say that? Yeah, he's going to get in this year, right? January 24th, election results. Bob Nightingale, he's
The
one
Hall
of
of Fame, baseball's
he's one of the voters. Fucking stupid video pop-ups. He's one of the voters. He's saying that he's in. The thing, if he goes in as an angel, the Angels exist. You know what I mean? Like, the Angels actually exist as an organization. Now, he brought that up before. He said, you know, it's not, he said either way, but he said, you know, the Angels. The thing is, though, Expo Nation love him more. You know what I mean? I'll put it this way with Guerrero, dude. All you need to fucking know, bro, whether you want to go in as an Angel or not, you're not even the most popular number 27 on the fucking Angels. Mike Trout is. They're not even going to retire your number, fuck. You're just another player to the Angels. You know, you're just another guy that was there. No, the Angels want to get him because it's a feather in the cap for a team to get a Hall of Famer in, right? Now, the Angels are pushing him hard, and you know, you have one guy you have a team that's pushing you hard to do it. The thing is, the players don't choose anymore. But they have a pull. They have a say in it, obviously, but they don't choose. Wade Boggs fucking screwed it all up. Wade Boggs basically fucking took a bribe from the Tampa Bay Rays to go into the Hall of Fame as a Ray. They basically overpaid him and said, listen, you know, will you go in as a Ray? He's like, all right. But Vladimir Guerrero is fucking loved in Montreal still. You know, like they have a lot of Expo Fest. There's a big dinner coming up for the Expos. Guerrero will be there. You know, Guerrero's in Montreal often and stuff. His son's going to play for the Blue Jays. And the Expos are going to be back. Guerrero would be better off served, like going as an Expo. No, Junior, I don't think this year. Maybe in September. But no, Junior's not ready to he's not ready yet. Where am I? I'm in Toronto. I'm in Toronto, but that could change in the near future. I saw them talk. They were talking about the Dreamers. You know, I don't want to get into politics and stuff, but I saw a lady on TV say, "Can you imagine not knowing where you're going to live in March?" And I'm like, "Yeah, fuck, I can." Basically, in like the last 2 weeks, I've had like it's a whirlwind. It's like, hey, you know what? You're going to move here. You're moving there. You're going to do this. No, you're going to stay. You're gonna do, like, I don't even know anymore. I actually made a call today to someone to say, listen, like, I need to kind of know where I'm going to be living in the next fucking 2 months. Hell, I've even kicked the tires on Costa Rica. I wouldn't mind jumping off the grid for a little while. But things are going to be really interesting in the next, like, once the Super Bowl's over, essentially. Once the Super Bowl is over. Yeah, I'm going to Costa Rica next week for the Super Bowl, but I'm talking about, you know, where will we set up in the future? I put it this way. Like in the next, like, you know, in the near future, I could either stay in Toronto, be in New York, stay in Costa Rica, or go to Vancouver. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm sort of like an athlete, though. I don't really decide, you know. I'll go wherever the best situation is for me, basically. But I did like Vancouver. Yeah, Vancouver's on the radar. I know life is short. I don't mind, like, I generally don't stay in cities this long as I've been in Toronto. Even though, you know, I've been here so long, I moved to Vegas and then moved back to Toronto. But Toronto's my hub right now. You know, we'll see if that changes, which it could in the near future. Yeah, Toronto's a nice city. Toronto's a big time city, you know. Yeah, exactly, Corrente. Like I said, a lot of stuff's up in the air, but it won't change any of the shows. You know what I mean? I'll do this show wherever I am. I am. That's just, you know. So, anyways, yeah, we stayed on a little later here this evening. I always say I'm going to go to those inductions, but I never go, Jazz. But if Vlad is in, you know, I've never been to Cooperstown either. I always said I'd never go to Cooperstown as long as Pete Rose isn't in the hall, though. But Vladimir Guerrero is one of my favorite players of all time. You got to come to one of our live events, Gogster. I'm not gone yet. I'm not gone yet, Gogster. We're planning on doing a show in Toronto in March, too. I'm not gone yet. I'm just stating I've got a lot of things. I got a lot of things going on that I'm not in control of. So I guess I could be if I wanted, and I could say, well, I'm not doing this or that, but yeah, Cooperstown's in the middle of nowhere, of course, upstate New York. It's like Bubble Boy. Oh, upstate. Yeah, wherever LeBron goes, I go. LeBron goes to LA, I'm going to LA. If he goes to Houston, I'm going to Houston. Yeah, the Clippers fucked me. I had the over in the game, Crawford, but I needed the fucking to hit a 3-team parlay. Smaller bet, but I'm just getting tired. The Jazz is saying April will be better. April will be. I want to wait for the NBA playoffs, to be honest. Brandon in St. Louis is like, oh, do it March 23rd. And I was looking. It's not a bad week, but honestly, I'd rather wait. The weather will be nicer in April, and the NBA playoffs will have started. So people that come up to Toronto, we can go to an NBA playoff game and shit. And the Stanley Cup playoffs will be on at the same time. So we're guaranteed action. You know, it's cool in Toronto in the playoffs because basically the Raptors and the fucking Leafs are playing every night or they alternate. You know what I mean? There's always like a big buzz in the city. And the Raptors are going to go on a deep-ass playoff run this year. We're going to go to the games, too. It's going to be good. Like Big Man's enjoying the Eagles run. We're going to have a nice Raptors run. Raptors are going to make it to the finals, and then they're going to lose to the Golden State Warriors. Just like the Eagles are going to make it to the finals and lose to the Patriots. It's a cold world. Although the Eagles have a better chance of beating the Patriots than the Raptors do of beating the Warriors. Raptors ain't losing in the second round. The Raptors are making it to the NBA. They're making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then anything can happen. They're going to win the first 2 rounds, and then they'll make it, you know. It'll probably be Boston and Toronto. The NBA is not rigged. It's just choreographed. It's entertainment, the NBA, but it's not rigged. Tim Donaghy tried to throw a few games, and even he went 6-3 against the spread. Think about it. A ref throwing games, and only he won 6 and 9 bets. All right, we're out of here. We'll see you guys here tomorrow night. I'll be on TV tomorrow. Dave Malinsky, Mike Cardano, Tony Sincata, Big Man on Campus, full slate of guests as we do every day. We do our thing. And we'll be on Red Heat and Rage Radio on the Fantasy Sports Radio Network at noon. Listen to us. Check out Big Man and Donnie, Low Shack, Jimmy the Bag, all the videos of the day on sportsbookreview.com. Give us a thumbs up on the way out. Remember to bet, pick a book over at Sportsbook Review. You know, all this content isn't free, guys. It's free for you, but it ain't free for them. Support them. We appreciate you tuning in. Other than that, you're on your own. May the winners be yours. Later.